will you drink coffee before the class tonight?
No, because then I'm back up early in the morning tomorrow, you know?
Bam, we're live. So in the middle of the show, you'll go back to CrossFit Livermore, and how many kids will be there?
Anywhere between 16 and like 22.
Oh my goodness. And you have to turn it on for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. High energy, high patience.
Jody Lynn, hi Sevan. Can you ask Aaron if there's any value in Thrasher magazines from 2006 to 2009? My son has stacks and stacks. I'm cleaning house.
Interesting.
Great question. If you value in Thrasher magazines.
My mom ditched all mine.
Great question. It was amazing. Aaron is a friend. Aaron is married to a very close friend of mine's friend. And so I was at the house the other day, and it was actually a couple of years ago. I said I wanted to get him on, and she said, "Oh, he's cool. Reach out to him in the DMs and see if you can get him on." And I don't know, year passed. No, year. Podcast hasn't even been going for 2 years, has it?
Nope.
So maybe a year passed, 6 months passed. And she said, hey, she was over here the other night. It was on her birthday, my friend, Colette. And she said, hey, did you get Aaron on? And I said, no, not yet. Having trouble getting in touch with him. And she goes, oh, I'll text him right now. And she texted him and bam, 4 days later, here he is, or some shit like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. It stays like high school your whole life. I can't wait to get out of high school when it's no longer a popularity contest. No. Sorry. Now they've changed the word. It's called relationships, but you can call it what you want. You can call it what you want. Aaron is a girl's name. I'll put that in my notes too. Aaron is a...
Because that depends on the spelling.
Steven Plyler, hi. Travis Bellenhausen, Vindicate, hi. Jody, Jamie, Latimer, Elise Carr, Reddow, The Shiz, Nora Speciso. Bam. Alan Kestenbaum, hi. Agnes Holmgren, Bruce Wayne. God, what if we ever all got to meet each other? Wouldn't that be nuts?
You mean like some sort of live show at a place?
Yeah. Meetup? God, I dread that. Oh my God. That would stress me out. Oh.
It stressed me out during that meetup at the games.
Sevan, will you ask Aaron about Scientology? I will not. I will not.
Is he a Scientologist guy?
I have no idea. I do have a lot of friends who are Scientologists. Not as many as I have that are Christians.
Interesting.
I do have a lot of friends. I was friends with them for a long time before I even knew that.
Undercover Scientologist.
A long time. I don't know. I mean, I didn't you don't know until you know. Serbia loves you. I love Serbia.
Oh, that's cool.
My goodness.
You got some reach.
I remember when your Prez came on like 6 months ago or a year ago, and he was like, I could believe the TV set, or I could believe my common sense. I'm going with my common sense. Open the country. Yeah, I mean, that guy's fucking brilliant. And your tennis dude, Djokovic, is a stud. What a fucking class act. I appreciate him. Sevan Podcast meetup at the ranch. It's possible. I think it's possible. That's kind of off the beaten path, though. Devesh is going to have a serious hard time. Where's Devesh? I saw him.
Hypothetically, where would you have it at?
Devesh, my house.
Just
11 miles up the road from the ranch.
Yeah. Even further in the cuts.
That is a good question. I don't know. Where do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Way to reverse the question. I didn't even have anything planned.
It might be good to time it with some other big event so people could kill two birds with one stone, you know?
Yeah.
Like the games or something.
Like if Lollapalooza gave us some love and we got a stage or something.
He's in Scientology. Yeah, watched Braille for years. He doesn't talk about it much, but threw me off when I found out. I had a flat earther on here the other day. I really liked him. I'm open.
There's a lot of labels being thrown around tonight. A lot of labels.
I'm open. I saw this video today that Matt Walsh put up.
He was on Rogan recently.
Yeah. It's a video of 2 cops putting handcuffs on a guy, and Matt Walsh is like calling for them to be fired. And the comments are just hating on the cops. And it just made me really not like Matt Walsh. You don't know the situation at all. You don't know if there's kids nearby. You don't know the history of this guy. The cops suspected that he might have a gun in his pocket. And they asked him to show what he had in his pocket, and the guy pushes back. And then eventually it doesn't get too confrontational, but the guy's just being an asshole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the cops handcuff him. And that's all you see in the video. You don't know what happens. You don't know if he gets arrested. And it's just a list of fucking comments. And thank God it's 3 white people. But it's just a list of fucking comments of people hating on the cops. And that's the problem in my mind. I'm on the totally other side of the fence. I'm on the side of the fence that... Do you want to pull up the video, the Instagram video?
Yeah, is it on the show?
I think it's on Matt Walsh's Instagram. No, it's not.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I'm on totally... I believe that there's a partnership there, and demanding for the firing of these cops. Like, what if these are 2 20-year veterans?
Yeah, I mean, there's just never enough context in those videos either, you know?
Sevan is pivoting to the left. He's desperate to breach that 20K barrier. No, I'm not pivoting to the left. Well, okay, fine. I think this guy's pivoting to the left. It's this one down here. Look, it's called Man. It's navigational. Man, it's a navigational aid. Go ahead and play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Here we go, people. So it's a guy just walking down the street with his jacket.
What's this in your back pocket? I just saw you walking it.
The navigational aids. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes, sir. I was
you
investigating.
have reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, pause.
What
pause.
is your suspicion?
So she comes back with that quip. Yes, I am a tyrant. She suspects he has a gun. If I take her at her word at face value, this is like a serious situation now. All I picture is me driving by there in my car with my 3 kids. If a cop thought that I might have a gun, I would so acquiesce. It's nothing to me. They're just doing their job. If I'm at the pool and there's a bush there and it's that season that bush is flowering and there's bees fucking everywhere, I don't come out with the can of Raid and spray down the fucking bush and say, well, I paid $6 to come into this public swimming pool, and so these bees have to die. How about fuck off?
Yeah, but did she... Because technically, if you're walking down the street and a cop does ask you that and there's no reason for detainment...
She says that she thinks he has a gun.
Oh, did she say that? I thought she said you got something in your back pocket there.
Okay, keep going. Okay.
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't have
you
to...
ensured that it's not a firearm?
Pause.
Okay.
Jeff Bako, this is the problem with people. They just read into things. Sevan is against Second Amendment. You heard it first here, folks. No, I'm totally fine with it. She says she wants to make sure he's carrying it properly.
Yeah. You know, you notice how my judgment changed? Because I was like, well, no, she technically didn't say it. And then we played the rest of the video and it played out exactly how it was supposed to for now him to be detained lawfully.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Yep. My bad.
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a to me.
Yeah.
Well, you're
pause.
being one.
You don't have to be a dick to me. And so he says, you're being one to me. Okay. And she was not being a dick to him. She was not being a dick to him. First of all, she's the fucking cop. That doesn't mean you bow down to her. That means she's working.
Yeah.
She's working the streets. Why can't you just give him or her just a little bit of fucking leniency and the fact that they're just doing their job, and give them the benefit of the doubt that they're trying to keep the street safe? What about this? Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm going to turn around slowly. It's just my walking cane. I appreciate you for keeping the street safe. What about that?
Much better outcome in that scenario.
What about that? And thank you, man, for keeping the street safe. Can I get your phone number? You got a nice rack on you.
Probably not that last.
I can see your rack through your bulletproof vest. Okay, let's go on.
To me.
No, sir. I'm
Have a
doing my
good day.
job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in here?
supervisor,
He's right
please.
here.
All right.
Don't you?
Sir, what you stopped you for? For a walking stick.
So,
And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to really present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed, okay? So there is no problem. Do you have your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it, okay?
Okay, pause. So at this point, they could have easily have let him go. At this point, they could have easily let him go. Okay, it's a stick. They could have just let him go.
Well, they still haven't searched him. So if there is some sort of somebody that called that witnessed him with the gun, even though they maybe mistaken it in the back pocket, he could still have one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. It does not look like a police state. Not in the slightest.
No, not even. I mean, he started off by being rude to her. Right
Okay.
off the bat, he was confrontational, you know?
Aaron Cairo is coming on, ladies and gentlemen. He is coming on.
Oh, yeah. good for you.
Him and Danielle Brandon are coming on tonight. Okay. Go ahead. Action.
Okay.
hi there.
Okay, pause. Sometimes these cop videos are taken out of context, but in this case, they literally just arrested a guy. You dick fuck. We don't even know if they arrested him. You dumb shit, Matt Walsh. These officers need to be fired immediately. No excuse for this. Oh, really? They need to be fired because they pulled over a guy who was cantankerous. For all they know, they smell alcohol on his breath.
Yeah.
Really, they should be arrested themselves when there's a total clear-cut case of abuse of power. No, dude, you're fucking abusing your fucking power. And you're spending you're spending your moral equity. I just tried that out for size.
That's
Like
good.
this, thank you. Like this, we need to make an example out of our offenders. Oh my God, this dude is swung so far to the fucking. What is wrong with Matt Walsh? Also, has the woman cop ever seen a gun before? And now he's just now this is
that's
just
ridiculous.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
How in the world did she make a mistake as a walking stick for a firearm? You are a fucking ding dong. What kind of firearm did she think he was carrying?
He doesn't even have all the information that the officers have. How would he even, you know what I mean? Like there could be a whole context behind it. Somebody called, identified him, saw him earlier. He was acting irate. Like there's so much information that we don't have.
Putting handcuffs on someone does not mean arrest. I put plenty of people in handcuffs simply to make situations safe.
Yeah, exactly. That's for officer safety until they could search him, figure out what's going on, and maybe let him calm down a little bit.
Elise Carr Riddell, Brandon, your wife doesn't count. Fair.
You guys in the comments?
Poor old man just minding his own business and getting harassed by police.
I don't see it that way. How do
Hey,
poor old
do
man?
you see that too? Do you see that too? That's how liberals think, by the way. That's how I was raised. Like if you have a house cleaner, it's like, oh, that poor Mexican lady. But this is because he's old. So Jeff puts the word poor in there. Poor old man. Like you're better. Like Jeff, you need to be on this show. I should pay you. You just throw up the alley-oops.
Also, too, if you go to the beginning, she started nicely. Hi there, can I talk to you for a moment? Like there was no aggression on her part, and then he made it confrontational immediately.
This is a good comment. Acid roads, but cops didn't see anything wrong or suspicious happening in all of 2020 riots.
You're never gonna please him.
I think if he was a poor old man too. Fair enough. Scroll down just a little bit. The guy's actually legally blind, and that's his walking stick. Tampa, Florida, 2 deputies in Columbia County are under investigation after they arrested a blind man for carrying a walking stick they believe to be a gun. Body cam video showed the encounter between James Hodge and the 2 deputies on Halloween as they approached him on suspicion he was armed. Hodge said he was out walking earlier that morning to get to jury duty, but it was canceled. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office said it was aware of the incident and that the sheriff, Mark Hunter, was troubled after watching the video. The sheriff's office launched an administrative investigation into the incident on November 3rd. Oh, I would like to know what he was arrested for.
Mm-hmm. Maybe priors.
If police violations are sustained at the conclusion of that investigation, appropriate action will be taken. While we understand the frustration and the concern associated with this event, please know we are working to resolve this matter as quickly as possible. I mean, to keep going. Keep scrolling down. Fair enough. Way out of line on the police officer's part. And the guy had every right to be irritated and snarky. Not way out of line. And of course he had the right to be irritated and snarky. Of course he did. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
When she realized it was just a walking stick and the other officer did as well, they should have it should have been the end of it. Okay, sir, we just wanted to make sure it wasn't a weapon. Thank you. Clarify. I agree.
You could have stopped there.
Lawsuit. Great. Good one, Dava.
I put the American flag in there too. It's...
I saw this and hope he gets the justice he deserves. Like what? He fucking has to put his hand out and have it slapped with a ruler for talking to police officers that way?
Cops like these make it hard for good cops out there. What? They get a little carried away with it, huh?
I just don't know what Matt Walsh is doing. It's so disappointing. Sevan, did you work as the person recording the side effects of medicine for commercials? Talking at a speed I need to. Oh, okay. Sorry. Settle down. I get wound up. I know that's a good observation. I appreciate the feedback. I was actually thinking about trying to talk slower.
I like the energy.
I'm competing with Andrew Hiller. Look at this. Look at number 1 on our live call-in notes. I watched this video like 10 times. I don't want to tell you that this video aroused me.
This is an old one, and it's like recently started repopulating again.
Oh, you saw this before?
I've seen this like a long time ago, but I just recently started seeing it again.
I don't want to say I was aroused by it because that would be too far, but it's fascinating to me. I mean, I'm moved by it somehow. Maybe not in my pants directly, but I'm definitely moved by it. Okay. Here we what's the title of what's it say up at the top? No, can you scroll down in the comment? Okay, you know you've made it when. Okay, here we go. The Wonder Woman one is crazy. Here we go.
Tonight the music seems
Oh, so see how she bit her lip right there?
Maybe it's better this way. We hurt each other with the things we want to say.
Oh, you better turn the music off. We're fucked. Okay, here we go. This lip biting thing, is that really a tell? If Aaron Cairo comes on and I go,
I mean, I think it is. Look at like, it's more than just like a lip biting. That's a whole demeanor there. Like,
man,
like
Wonder Woman looks like she's about to explode. Look at her.
Then she snaps out of it. Oh,
yeah. Okay, gather your shit.
Yeah, that's definitely flirtatious.
So good. Aaron Cairo Braille is to skateboarding what Buttery Bros are to CrossFit, in my opinion. I'm a fan of both, but there are subsets of both communities that don't like their vanilla approach. Curious how Aaron feels. Well, maybe I should show you this then. Will you pull up Aaron Cairo's most recent post?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you think about this one, Mr. Jack Sutherland. I think he brings a lot of energy to it, and his goal is for introduction to skateboarding. His goal is to make skateboarding the largest sport in the world. Oh no, is that Braille or is that Aaron's?
No, it's his. I think is it this one?
Oh, okay. Maybe it is that one.
This one.
Okay,
It's like the audio overlay.
Okay, yeah. Will you push play? Listen to this. This caught me so off guard. Listen to this.
And you called me crazy. I started a business and you said it was stupid. And that business, it went under and you said I told you so. So I started another one. And you said some people just never learn. But that business took off. And now you are coming after me because of my privilege. But maybe you're right. Maybe I am privileged. Because if I was born with your attitude, I never would have made it either. I quit my job and
Listen one more time. Let's listen one more time. I quit my job. Listen to this.
you called me crazy. I started a business and you said it was stupid. And that business, it went under and you said I told you so. So I started another one. And you said some people just never learn. But that business took off. And now you are coming after me because of my privilege. But maybe you're right. Maybe I am privileged. Because if I was born with your attitude, I never would have made it either.
There's nothing vanilla about that at all. I'm dying, Sevi. I'm dying. Damn, Sevi, get out from under your rock. What?
Is he referring to maybe like a live show?
Oh no, or maybe because of the lip bite, because I didn't know the lip bite meant.
Yeah, you're probably correct.
Wonder Woman is so hot. Yeah, she really is out of control. Here we Kenneth still women are so powerful. If I bite my lip, people think I'm about to fart. Yeah, women are so it's crazy. Yeah, that is dope, right? That is dope. Yeah, who is he talking to? Yeah. Who is he talking to? It's a great question. I didn't expect to see that on his feed at all. At all. What time are you leaving?
7.
Number 2, freedom of speech. We'll just go through a little bit of the live call-in show while we wait for Mr. Aaron to show up. No hate on Aaron. He gave me plenty of warning. Jason Whitlock, you all think they're silencing Kyrie over a tweet about a boring, confusing documentary? Kyrie is being silenced to let all the other bought and paid for Negroes know they are not allowed to think for themselves. Sharing Alex Jones and refusing the vax are the real problem. And just the lack of freedom of speech. It's we have to stop. We have to let people talk.
You think Elon's going to do it?
Did you see they asked Biden about that today if Elon needs investigating?
Really? What is
Yeah.
that? Well, did he even know what the answer or the question was?
He actually answered it. He said it needs to be looked at. I'm not saying it needs to be investigated. It needs to be looked at. So, number 4, deadlifting. Look at this one. These are 3 deadlifts I saw pop into my feed this week. I would like to share them all with you. The final one we're going to see is a listener of the show, watcher of the show, and I would consider him a friend. Okay, this one's called Pull It No Matter What.
Do we need volume for these, or is it going to be music that'll...
I don't know. No, either way. Sure. I don't know.
Okay, roger that. If it plays music, I'll go.
Deadlifting 135. That's amazing, right? I've seen a lot of weird deadlifting shit. I've never seen anyone spit like that.
Yeah, she's definitely thrown up there. I don't know if that's a little more than spit.
How incredible is it that Fetterman won Pennsylvania? Hey, I read in the comments it only makes common sense. So if you have common sense, Bruce, then you would understand that. Number 2 deadlift. Number 2. Here we go. Oh, shit. I opened a text I didn't want to open. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's a little aggressive there. I think that was a weird joke or something. I don't know. That's a good way to like tweak your back.
So that's I've never seen that, by the way. That's a trap bar that's like on like a Smith machine style track. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
I've never ever seen that.
Yeah, it's like why? Just so you never learn how to deadlift properly?
The appropriate way to use a trap bar. All right. Let's watch one more time. Can we get audio again?
Yeah.
Oh, the dude's help him lift it. I didn't even notice that the first time. Let's hear what the guy says. Hold on. Keep it going. I want to hear what the dad says.
380 kilo.
Oh, it's Russian training. All right. Now it makes sense.
I was going to say, it all makes sense now.
Mason Mitchell, some special people out there. Yeah, this is a trap bar plus Smith machine equals retarded. The R word. Bring up Brian Shaw's latest YouTube video 37. We need your opinion on what they are lifting. Okay, hold on. Let's watch this last deadlift in this. And this is our own Jeffrey Birchfield. I think like he's a neurobiology professor at some college and CrossFitter. 500.
Sorry, we can't do the cool music.
500 pounds. This is savage. Oh, wait a second. Wait, let's watch that again. He's pretty pumped. Let's watch that again.
Okay.
There was like a skip, like almost like it wasn't real.
Like it wasn't real.
I'm gonna have to fact check this. Did you see how it missed? And
Yeah, well,
like,
you see it's doing it right now. That's not my computer. That's the edit on the clip.
Oh no, Jeff.
Jeff, we're gonna need
Jeff.
Jeff, we're gonna need
no rep. No rep. No rep. Fake. Yes, fake as shit. Oh my God, Jeff. Oh shit.
Oh, we're gonna need the raw footage.
Oh my goodness.
Upload it, unlist it to YouTube, and send us the link.
You all see Thor drop 700 pounds on himself back squatting?
Oh.
No. Sevan, I will send you the video. Ah, there he is. Send it to me. Send it to me. Then I'm going to send it over to my lab at HillerFit for authentication. What's that called when police? Forensics for forensics.
Forensics to get it verified.
Kenneth, don't talk shit about Jeff. Too late. You're 3 minutes too late. Oh my goodness, Jeffrey. Send that shit over. My goodness. Hey, and Jeff, whoever edited that for you, just fucking gut punch them. Just be like, just walk up and it's
on YouTube.
Yeah, I agree, Bryce. The bar teleported until proven otherwise. And for all I know, there were he had some people lifting it on the ends.
Couldn't
like
see it.
In that little section. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, Jeffrey's good at making fucking fake videos, deadlifting videos. That's what he's good at.
Reminds me of that dude that did one round of that thruster double under, then looped it. You remember that?
Elise Carridao, Sevan, let's see you deadlift 500 pounds. Okay, well, let me frame it like that and invite over a couple of my buddies, and you know what? I'm gonna do 505. How about that? Look at all these fucking lovers of Jeffrey Birchfield coming to his defense.
That's awesome.
Jody Lynn, Jeffrey's awesome. Great lift.
Yep, everybody.
Good stuff, Jeffrey. Casavion Joiner. Okay. Here we go. Waiting on Sevan's 100-pound dumbbell snatch.
Oh,
hey, I got my shield up. You keep those rocks. Keep throwing those rocks.
We got the 70 on the way. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. I did order a 70. It's on the way. Magnus Holmgren 3812. Sorry for saying the wrong timestamp on the Brian Shaw video. No problem. Can someone just put the link in the chat and we'll grab it and play it for everyone? Or let me see. What
is it his most recent video? And what exactly are we?
Yeah, do I just type in Brian
Shaw
YouTube?
Yeah.
Shaw strength.
Oh, strength.
The grip gauntlet. No. Kicked out of Planet Fitness with Juji Mafu. Oh, that's 3 years ago. Hold on.
What are you on the popular ones or something?
7 hours ago. Is Juji's Fumafu's grip better than mine?
Yeah, is that the episode?
Is that the one?
Oh, he said he timestamped it in the link. What happened? What link?
Timestamped. Oh, if you send it to my Instagram, there's no fucking way. What's the time code? I'm going there now.
3812. Just
Okay,
drop it in the chat.
I'm 3805.
He said, yeah, it was that one. 3812.
Okay, here we go. I got it.
You got it?
Yep, I got
Okay.
it. Bam. Here we go.
Oh, it's a 200 pound. Fair? That's fair, yeah. Oh!
How much is that? 230 pounds? What do you say?
Yeah, that's crazy. You might want to pause it, though.
Biggest PP ever.
It's going a little long. There you go.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Is that what you were talking about? Magnus?
I feel like that would instantly like strain my forearm, and it wouldn't move. It wouldn't move, and I would strain my forearm.
Yeah. Sevan, you getting Mike Penta on the affiliate series? Send me his Instagram in my DMs and I'll peep him. Jeff Bako, I saw Brian Shaw in an airport once.
Which airport?
My kids,
Does he get 2 seats, you think?
he makes Juji look like Sevan to normal people. Fair. I'll take that as a compliment.
Has he got the choir boys as his icon there? Did you see that icon?
Johan Lopez?
Yeah.
Oh no, those are I think that's like some sort of military academy. He was probably a bad kid.
Oh, yeah.
He was in town for strongman event. I did. I saw Brian Shaw step on an airport once. Fair. Okay. Back to my. Oh, I got to stop this before I fuck up.
I had you. I was watching it. I had it.
Okay, we solved the riddle with Jeffrey Birchfield's deadlift. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Let's look at. I wanted to tell you guys a story. I don't know. I'm not really fired up enough to tell it. I thought of it the other day. So someone sent me a link to this YouTube video that I made of Greg many years ago. And I don't know if I'd ever told the story. And I told someone the story and they're like, have you ever told that story before? And I'm like, no. Here comes the Glassman reference.
Fucking Jeff, I saw that pop up when you said that too. I was like
3, 2, 1. So basically what happened, it was 2000, I think it was 2010. So 2009, I went and made this movie called Desert Runners. And it was going to require me to be gone for 2 weeks every single quarter. Hey, should we tell Aaron to reschedule?
You. I mean, he still might. Yeah, it's been 30 minutes, but he said it was going to take a little bit longer.
Because then it's going to be a really long show for me.
Okay, want me to text him?
Yeah. Do you think it's rude? I don't want to be rude.
I don't know. I just would hate if he's like trying to jam home and he's like almost there, you know, and we're like, hey, let's reschedule.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can. What if I just call him?
Yeah, why not?
What if I just call him?
FaceTime him. Just go all in on it.
Let me see.
I was looking up Desert Runners. I wonder if anybody's seen Our House yet. You guys should definitely watch that.
Oh, it hung up. I'll call him again.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wait.
You gonna tell me he's live?
Aaron,
Hello?
hi.
Hey.
I got some. Yeah, this is Sevan.
Hey.
I got something I want to ask you. We're live on the air, by the way. I am so excited to have you on. I've got pages and pages of notes, and now I'm nervous that if I have you on now, I won't get to pick that wonderful brain of yours and go deep with you because we're rushed. But I don't want to lose you because you're such an epic get. So if we moved it to next week, would that be a dumb move? Could you advise me? Give me some advices.
Oh, you're cutting out there.
Darn it.
Damn it.
Here, let me call you right back. I just got home.
Okay.
Oh.
Bye.
Well, if he just got home, maybe he's gonna jump on.
I know, but
Have you
here's
already
the thing.
switched? You've
I'm gonna
already-
have to pee in fucking 60 minutes.
Hit the commercial now.
Yeah. So it was a 2010 CrossFit game. So in 2009, and at the end of 2009, I was basically going to go. I wanted to shoot this movie called Desert Runners, and I was actually going to direct it and shoot it. And I had to go to the 4 gnarliest deserts on the planet. It was the Atacama in Chile. It was Antarctica. Was the coldest desert. Atacama was the driest. I went to the Sahara, and I went to the Gobi in China. Yeah, there's the movie. And I asked them, and I asked Tony Budding, who was the media director at the time, and if I could do that. And he said, I can't remember what he said. And my turnout was amazing. I had this thing where I turned in a video basically every single day. The consumption of content that was needed to keep CrossFit. Oh, look, there I am in the
That's
desert.
you right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the Sahara. That's in Egypt. Just
That's
a
cool.
cute little boy in my 30s. And so they said I could, I think that they said I could do it. And then like 2 months later, I got a note from Lauren Glassman and Tony saying they wanted to meet me in Prescott, Arizona to have a talk. And I went out there, and actually it was just from Lauren. Lauren said, "Hey, will you come out here and talk to me?" And I said, "Sure." And when I got to the airport, Tony was on my flight. I was like, "Oh, this is weird."
Mhm.
And then we drove from the airport together to Lauren's house. And basically, they fired me. They said, "Hey, you're no longer an employee of CrossFit. You are now a contractor." I did not say a word. They're like, "Are you going to say anything, Sevan?" And I just went quiet. I didn't. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Aaron.
we're just hanging at the store.
Hey,
Hi.
so what was your question?
So my question is this. I'm really excited to talk to you. I've done a ton of research. I want to pick that wonderful brain of yours, and I want to get deep about skateboarding, about life, about passion. And I'm thinking that, and my show is live, so I'm 37 minutes into it now. And I'm afraid if you come on now, I won't get enough time with you. But you're such a good get that I don't want to drop the ball.
Well, the flight got delayed until 11 p.m.,
Okay.
so we have time.
Okay. Dare I say, is rescheduling, would that just be stupid?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think
perfect.
because
Here comes the link.
stuff.
Fuck that idea. Cross that off the list. We'll see you in 3 minutes. Bye.
It's off to a great start. You want to go pee now?
Yeah. You want to run the commercial?
Yeah.
Run the commercial. Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't even have to want to do CrossFit. You don't have to want to be a coach. You don't have to want to be a trainer. If you just want the operating manual to your body, it's not just Forging Elite Fitness. It's the operating manual to the human genome. You'll take this CrossFit Level 1 seminar and you will walk away inspired. From the second you leave, your entire life will change. You will make significant changes to your life because you are excited. You will start tweaking with your diet. You'll start tweaking with your movement. You'll start tweaking with who you hang out with. Everything will take a shift. For some people, it'll be massive. For some people, it'll be a little bit. No matter what, you'll move towards a better life. Everyone is going to sense it in you that you are more accountable, more personally responsible, happier, more helpful, more thoughtful human being. And you'll be nicer to look at. You might talk too much shit about CrossFit, but...
Dude, why didn't you tell me to get a haircut?
Hey, my hair is getting kind of long too.
We have a new commercial coming out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna address those comments and say. Don't you worry, guys. Don't you worry.
Why was someone saying that?
No, someone's like, "Can we get another commercial? Can we do a second one?" Or
Yeah.
we got them on deck, son. Commercials for days.
You'll start tweaking. Sounds awful. Yeah, I meant twerking. Thank you.
Allison knows.
I fell asleep to the show last night, round 2. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. A whisper. So basically what happened was I went out there, they basically let me go, and my output was fucking insane at that point. I was making probably 50% of the content that was on .com. It was just fucking nuts. I don't know. Someone can go back and look. So they fired me and they told me that they would pay me per video. So over the next year, I went and did those 4 2-week shoots in those countries, making that movie Desert Runners. And I turned in enough videos at .com at the rate they were paying me to make $320,000. I want to say that was 2000. Just living at home with my mom, you know?
Yeah.
Just fucking
incredible. They didn't do the math on that one, huh?
Yeah. And that year at the games, they were paying me $250 a video to turn in. And I remember when I had turned in like 27 videos, I called Leaf, that was the guy that did the publishing on the front end. And I said, hey, dude, I've turned in 27 videos. We're only halfway through the week. Do you guys still want me to keep churning them out? He goes, let me check with Tony. And he said, yeah. At that point, I made another, 27 videos. 2010 CrossFit Games were over. I think this was 2010, by the way. It could have been 11, but it was definitely in Carson. And when the games were over, Tony said, how much do we owe you? And I said, whatever, 64 times 250. And he wrote me this crazy fucking email back with someone else CC'd on it, telling me, don't be a fucking smartass with me. I can do the fucking math. You just know it's completely inappropriate for us to pay you that much. And I wrote back to him like, hey, dude, I asked you guys if you wanted me to still make content. It's only $250 a video. I fucking crushed it, like blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So I decided I'm going to go. And at this point, I know Greg, but I'm not super close with him. So I go out to visit Greg. I'm like, I need to talk to the owner of the company. I need to talk to Greg. And I go out to Greg's house. And at that time, him and Lauren were going through a divorce. So she had moved into a house a couple blocks away. And I went and visited Greg, and we hung out for a day. And I said, hey, can I just stay here for 30 days and make a short documentary about you? And he said, absolutely. And I got paid my money, and eventually, and then I got fucking hired back, and it was all downhill from there. Look, I'm like an old man itching my ear.
So did Greg just approve it afterwards? Like,
yeah.
He
approved it. He bought me a new computer. He got me a 12-pack of beer. He got me everything.
Savage.
Like, yeah, it was insane. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a fascinating time. And so someone sent me that documentary is in the journal somewhere on YouTube somewhere.
Did they send you the link? Can you send it to me? I want to watch it.
I do not believe it.
Oh, Jeff.
I thought it was a great story. Did we send Aaron the link?
It's funny that you said. I was just thinking the same thing, but it's here in my inbox, and I CC'd you on it too. I'm just gonna text it to him as well.
Okay, and be like, hey, I emailed it to you.
Yeah. Oh, you did? You FaceTimed
it? On accident. I'm too old to FaceTime. Sevan, what are you doing Friday and Saturday? What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing Zello games on Saturday. Is tomorrow Friday?
No, tomorrow's Thursday.
So we have Jason Grubb on tomorrow morning.
Yep.
And then the rest of the live call-in show.
Yep.
Jeff is Greg. Holy shit. Holy shit.
How's that for a plot twist?
You're freaking me out. Live chat for Zellos games? Yeah, I assume.
It was funny. People were liking the fact that we called and they just saw the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, do I run the commercial? Go peanut like that whole thing. And I was thinking to myself, buckle up for this weekend, guys. If you enjoyed that, you're going to see the whole production unfold right in front of you just like that.
Oh, it's going to be so wild.
Yeah.
I'm trying to schedule a show with Tyler Watkins, Mike Halpin, and John Young and Brian Friend, I guess the games released some new shit about how they're gonna pick people to go to the games, and the boys have their fucking panties in a twist. They're like, hey, this might not be good at what they've done. So I can't wait to dig into it.
I love to see them all riled up.
I think Bob Eubanks and Adrian went on with Chase Ingram and
Bob Eubanks,
Dave Eubanks, whatever. Is Bob Eubanks the host of some show? Price is Right? Is he Price is Right?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Mr.
Like
Spin, Friend was pissed.
Oh.
And
Fired up.
Nice chair in the commercial, Sevan. Is that the one your mom stained and rebuilt? Oh, quiet. My mom's has more man skills than me.
That's funny.
My mom sanded and restained all my shit. Anyway, so I guess the Talking Elite Fitness guys also had Dave Eubanks on, and so I want to listen to all that before we do the show. So maybe I have to stay up late tonight because I want to have those guys on tomorrow.
Tomorrow evening?
Can you hear me?
I can.
We can hear you.
Okay. Why isn't my camera working though? What's happening?
Oh, you have a nice microphone, Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're killing it, buddy. I can just tell.
Let's see. It was working so good.
If you go to the settings, it should give
utility.
you the options there.
Look at that exclamation mark he has in front of his camera. It's so daunting. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Cairo, 2005. In 2005,
make sure this
he published his first video to YouTube.
Oh, 2005. That's
2005.
awesome.
I thought it was 2006.
It was a Hail Mary. Don't ruin my story, Aaron. It was 2005. It was a Hail Mary pass. He had just lost his sponsors. In one last desperate look up to the heavens, he put a video on YouTube with a bunch of vintage skateboarding shots. Hey! Oh shit!
And it's frozen. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. We're getting close though.
Kenneth DeLapp, 2005, good year. I was is your sophomore year in high school? Wow, Kenneth. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Jeff just got out of jail.
Jeff just served the nickel.
Aaron Cairo's got the Mississippi internet. No, this dude's in Silicon Valley. This guy's just right up the street from me. He's got the good shit. They pipe it in straight from internet heaven. He got the good shit.
We're so close to the cloud.
Yeah, he lives under the cloud.
Literally.
2005, puts this video on YouTube after losing his sponsors as kind of like a last-ditch effort, contemplating retirement, which is better than suicide, retirement as a professional skateboarder.
Always a better option.
And you guys have to understand what YouTube was like in 2005. Like if you got 500 views, it was nuts.
Yeah, cat videos galore.
Yeah, you couldn't believe that someone was looking at your stuff. And this video became the most popular skate. Okay, fuck this show.
No, it's good. I still listen to the story. It's still relevant.
Oh my
He doesn't need to hear
goodness.
it.
It was like I was in the middle of a blowjob and our parents came home and he ran out of the room and I just felt this cock fall out of my
Is that
mouth.
the that the garage opening?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh my God. Jeff Bako, this production quality never disappoints. I hope Jeff, here's what I think. I think Jeff has a bottle of booze. No, he's a recovering alcoholic. He's in AA, but he's got a pack of cigarettes. Or something. And like a box of what goldfish, a cigarette, a box of goldfish, and a tall glass of 7-Up with ice in it. That's what I picture him. Do you see it? Like the real big box, like the carton.
And then he has to have a 2-liter of Sprite because if he's got ice in it, you know, he poured it from the fridge into its own glass. It's not even canned.
Yes.
He's like a 2-liter buyer.
Oh, I'm
I
the
would-
drunk one, not Jeff. All right.
You know my buddy Mendoza that you met?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we always joke about it, and we was like, man, if we would have got on the like vlogging or just following him around, number one, we guaranteed that he wouldn't have like lived through senior year of high school and like on, but we were like, that show would have just blown up. Like if just a couple of us just followed him out the camera. I used to make and take skate videos of my buddies, and I would compile them for sponsor me's. And then I would go to the local skate shops and I would get them sponsored because I was never the best skater. I wasn't the worst, but I wasn't like the best. But a couple of the guys I skated with that still skate to this day were like incredible, right? Like just that next tier level.
And that Mendoza guy was kind of big to be a great skater, wasn't
No,
he?
he wasn't a good skateboarder. He just
Oh.
would have been drunken entities. That's all his would have been.
Right.
One time he was eating a piece of pizza and we were in Santa Barbara, and you know this because you
like
were there.
this.
And we were on the cliff, and it was at Halloween. And I don't know how crazy Halloween was when you were there, but it was just nuts
Crazy.
on Isla Vista. I mean, it's
Crazy.
just the streets just nuts, right?
Crazy.
And he's walking with a bunch of girls and stuff, and we're going down by the hill cliff, and he just falls off the side of a cliff.
Oh, people died like that every year. There.
Yeah, and and all these girls start screaming, and everything's nuts, and then he just like claws his way back up, and it's like fine. It's insane.
Aaron, you're much more handsome on your Instagram.
Say again.
You're much more handsome on your Instagram.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Well,
Why does this not work all of a sudden? It's so weird. Okay, one more thing, and then we'll just use the regular, not the good camera.
Good on you. Wow, I'm impressed. He's using what's that piece of equipment called? I should set mine up too. I think did we use that once when we were in Newport doing a podcast, Souza? It's that link, Cam Link. He's using his Cam Link.
Oh yeah. So you could use like a nicer camera to stream it.
Aaron's looking for that shallower depth of field.
Yeah, I set this whole thing and it looks so good. And I used it in an earlier podcast. And this is what it is. The exact same camera, but a different, like the same model, but a different actual camera. And it just doesn't want to.
Oh, you know what it is? There's something in the menu that you have to. Is it a Sony? What kind of camera is it, Aaron?
No, it's a Canon.
There's probably something in the menu that you have to go into and
Canon
switch that
EOS
you want.
Rebel T8i.
Okay, there's something in the menu you have to go to and tell it you want it to shell out its data through HDMI. There's going to be a
Menu
mini
from StreamYard?
No, in the menu of the
Or in the
camera
camera?
settings. Yeah.
Mm.
At least in the Sonys, you have to do that. You have to tell it to, hey, talk to the HDMI, and then it knows to send that image to the computer, or else it'll just send it to the back, the
let's
screen
see.
you have on the back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the camera talk begins. I think Aaron might be quite the camera buff too.
Yeah. I do know how to use these. But this one is being tricky.
Have you thought about switching to Sony? I think it's better for video, to be honest. Not better for stills, but
On which one?
the Sony. Have you ever thought about switching to Sony?
Somebody's comments.
Oh yeah, we use Sony's. We usually shoot with Sony.
Your mic sounds incredible though.
Yeah, his mic's great.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, 20 burpees while we wait for Aaron to show his face.
Well, just to conclude that story.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. Take your time. So Mendoza crawls back up the hill and is sitting in this lawn chair trying to gather himself after he fell off the cliff.
Yeah.
And there was like these 2 dogs that kept just like hanging out by him. And we were like, why are these dogs hanging out by Mendoza? And as he comes, hey, there he is. You
Why
got
were
it.
the dogs hanging out by him?
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted me to finish or not. So the dogs are hanging out, and then he kind of like comes to a little bit, and he's like halfway asleep, whatever, fell off the cliff. And then he reaches into his pocket, and he realized he had a whole entire slice of pizza still in there. from
Oh,
the house
wow.
that he was left at, and then he just turns and looks and then just starts eating the pizza.
Falls off the cliff and puts the piece of pizza in his pocket.
Yeah, we just thought he was the dog whisperer, but turned out he just had a piece of pizza in the pocket. Aaron, glad we got it working.
Oh, I think his internet connection is fucked because he was sounding like a robot a little bit, and now he's frozen in one position.
Mm.
Destiny. Kenneth DeLapp, 300 episodes. Sevan would be flipping out. Look how chill he is. Oozing confidence. Well, thank you. A fancy camera thing and still looks like a Sony phone from the late 90s.
I don't think he's using the fancy one. Oh, we're back. We got movement.
Daniel Garrity, Sevan is a legend. This is a shit show, but we can't turn it off. Thank you. I love you too. Aaron Cairo needs to upgrade to a 2400 baud modem. Wow. I think I had one of those. I never got used, but I think I had one of those. God, that's old school, Jeffrey.
Spiegel, get out of here. Don't you do that to us.
Oh my goodness. Douchebag.
Come on, Spiegel.
Oh my goodness. I can't. This guy's so freaking cool. I can't hang up. You heard it. I called him and he's like, yeah, don't reschedule. You're lucky. You're lucky. I saw your YouTube channel. You're lucky. You're lucky. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, wait. You know what I found the other day that we had just talked about relatively recently?
Tell me.
My Starbucks apron.
Oh, wow. Hey, that could be a good prop someday.
Yeah. When we would bring in the eggnog, we would wear the goggles when we would be at the steam bar. And every now and then someone would come and laugh and they would like kind of look at you and they'd be like, why are you wearing the goggles? And we'd be like, ma'am, there was nothing funny about a retina burn. And they would be like, what?
Look at it. Even Miss Medeiros is fucking getting in the throwing rocks at us. Drive to Boise, nothing but time. Oh, maybe she's driving to Boise.
Yeah, she is.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. In connection.
Fair enough. We're just gonna use this camera.
Success.
That's fine.
Welcome
You
to
can
the
hear me,
show.
okay.
Welcome
Thanks.
to the show. No, thank you. Hey, where are you? Where are you?
I'm at home in Oakland, California.
And is that that's your gonna be your podcasting room right there?
Yeah, I've been trying to set this up. That's why I was like, I should do a couple podcasts and do the reverse flow of the podcast so that when I start a podcast, that's why I'm like, I got to get my camera working. What's happening with this thing? So
Right.
now this is just like from the computer, which is terrible, but whatever.
It's what I use. I'm
It's okay.
600. I'm 600 shows in. Maybe I'll take that as advice right off the bat from you.
Well, we have like 500 cameras, right? So I hooked this up because I looked online and they said, yeah, you just connect a cable, it goes into the computer. And it's so weird because the other one just worked no problem. T8i, same exact camera. But then they were like, oh, we want this camera to shoot with blah, blah, blah. So then I took it back. I swear this thing probably hasn't been used in 5 years. And then I started using it. Then they're like, oh, we need to use that. and then I grabbed the other one, same exact model, but for some reason it just doesn't want to work.
You said you used that other one before?
Yeah.
How long
Yeah.
was that show that you did?
Hours.
Oh, interesting. Because the Sony one, it had like a 1 hour time limit and it would always turn off. So I'm like, okay, until I crack the code on that, I'm not messing with that.
It will do that. Like if you're recording, I think this one has a 30-minute record limit. But the way that we did with that one, it wasn't a live show. So
Okay.
I was like recording my audio on GarageBand, and then I just sent it to the person who was doing the podcast.
Oh, cool.
Totally
Wow.
different. Yeah. But then, yeah, sometimes I'd have to stop and start the camera. But
Happy birthday. You turned 39 in September.
yeah, thanks.
You're well. Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know. Just the way you said, yeah, thanks. Like I should have said that.
39.
Yeah,
I mean,
thanks.
yeah, it's good. 39. I think about it a lot. I was just thinking about it earlier. I was like, I'm going to be 40. I was thinking I need to like make a big video part for 40. Film something.
Over 5 million subscribers on YouTube with the goal of becoming the greatest spreader. The purpose of Braille is to make new skateboarders.
Yes.
And push skateboarding all over the world. You had it to be your goal to introduce skateboarding to more people than anyone else on the planet. And I think you've done it.
Yeah, the goal very specifically is even more specific than that. It's to make skateboarding the biggest sport in the world, which might literally be an impossible task, but I feel like you have to sort of set the goal into an impossible task.
Yeah.
Because, starting the YouTube channel is like, okay, let's hit the biggest YouTube channel. Okay, we did that. Then it was like, it's kind of a bummer, It's all these like inspirational quotes. It's like, enjoy the journey. And it's not the destination, because once you hit the goal, you're kind of like, what do we do now? It's so true, though. You really got to make a bigger goal. But yeah, soccer is the biggest sport in the world.
Okay.
Just for reference. And it's massive. And if you look at where skateboarding is in the number of sports, it's very, very, very small. Like I think pickleball and like badminton is bigger.
Dude, pickleball is like everywhere now. They're like shutting down tennis courts to put pickleball courts. What is going on?
I don't know. I just randomly saw, we were skateboarding in Berkeley and there was all these people playing pickleball. And then the world is an interesting place for sure.
When I think of skateboarding, I think of it as sports. I think of it, it's tantamount to what physics is to studying and what the violin is to music. It is a incredibly steep learning curve. It is incredibly difficult. There's do you see it like that? Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think that is the biggest thing why skateboarding hasn't grown. I think there's like several factors, and I have like this broad scale like thing, because you look at other things like soccer or basketball or football, like first of all, they're part of the school system. So they're part of like an already existing structure. And so people go into school and then they're asked, like when I went to public high school, I was asked, do you want to play basketball or football? You have like options, right? Skateboarding is not an option. It makes me wonder, what if it was?
Right.
What if every school had a skate park and a skateboarding program? And I just think these things are so interesting to me, because the skateboard industry is very, well, first of all, people always like, the skateboard industry hates you, Aaron. I get things like that. And then I kind of go, well, who is the skateboard industry? Because I thought it was just a bunch of kids riding skateboards. And
I've never heard anything like that. Is that really true? That's a thought out there that the industry would hate you because you're pushing people onto skateboards?
Yes. There is kind of a funny, it's a very interesting, it's just a very interesting scenario. Like, how do I describe it? There's like, this called like core skateboarding, right? Like, okay, so you were telling a little bit of my story when I put my video on YouTube and that blew up. So I moved to San Francisco to be a professional skateboarder. And being a professional skateboarder means there's a very specific set of rules. And there's a very exact way that you are to do this. You have many video parts. You have photos in magazines. There's a very there's no written rules, but they're all unwritten rules. And the companies that sort of run the industry, which would, I guess, make up what they're quote unquote like the skateboard industry. But it's kind of hard to pin like who's the skateboard industry, who's making the decisions kind of thing, right? And then when the internet came along, that sort of changed everything. The internet changed the whole world. And I always use the example of like Blockbuster. Not that the skateboard industry as it is, the core industry is like going down or going anywhere or going badly. But Blockbuster was this big, you would have never, Friday night, you're going to Blockbuster. Now I'm really aging myself, right?
No, I remember that. That. You could pick out one movie, Sevan. Aaron, you did too. You got an A.
It had that distinct smell.
Yeah. And I think there's even like a story where like maybe Netflix pitched Blockbuster and was like, you should stream movies. And they were like, that will never happen.
Yeah. And they offered to sell to them too.
Sell to them. That's right. And then where's Blockbuster now? Friday night's coming up. I want to go to Blockbuster, right? I'm just making the point that like the internet threw a lot of change into things. And because I grew on the internet and built a company on the internet, I'm sort of looked at as like went an alternate direction from other very established paths. Let's just put it that way. And the people that are running those very established paths may or may not agree with the way that I do things. In fact, sometimes I like to look at the established path and go, what are they doing? They're going right? Sweet. I'm going left.
You think you're a contrarian at heart?
What does that mean?
You know, exactly what you said. Like when someone says no, you're like, you know, if someone says don't look, you look. Someone says,
yeah, I think so. Sometimes I use it as like a little, you know, skateboarding is also very mental. And it's not that I'm into this thing of like, oh, I want to like make somebody wrong or feel a certain way or anything like that. It's just that like, I don't know. It's just kind of like I don't know. It's a funny thing, but sometimes I'll be trying a trick and I'll be struggling with it where I can't land it or I want to make myself land it. And my friends will be like, Aaron, you can do it. You can do it. And then I'll be like, okay, tell me I can't do it. And then they say, Aaron, you can't land this. And then I will. Right. And it's just kind of like a funny thing. But
yeah.
But yeah, I tried. I also think that people think that I like hate the skateboard industry or whatever. I love skateboarding, all parts of it. Love the skateboard industry, any company, all the rad skaters, everybody doing awesome tricks. I love it. And that's I was one of those kids trying to come up in that arena. And then I failed coming up in that arena. And then I just went, oh, that's a path. Let me take that path. You know, it's that famous quote on the wall of the schools, the path less taken, right? Less taken.
Road less traveled. Yep.
Yeah.
The road less traveled. There you go.
And you talk about that in your TEDx video, that there was a something written on your high school wall saying take the path less traveled. And the second you're like, hey, I'm going to take the path less traveled, everyone's like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, they said, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah, when I told my wife, I tell this story in every interview, I swear. Please. When I told my wife, I'm going to quit my valet job. I was working valet parking cars. I'm going to quit my valet job and go in on this YouTube thing. She had like a very serious 2-hour, never do that. That is the worst idea you could possibly imagine.
Where did you meet your wife?
I met her at a party, Halloween party.
And you're still with her?
Still with her. Yeah. We've been married for 12 years.
Wow. 12 years ago you were parking. Wait, 12 years ago you were parking cars.
Yes. Well, let me see. No, we've been actually married 12 years. We've been together 15. So 15 years ago, 14 years ago, I was parking cars.
Where were you parking them?
At this downtown restaurant in San Francisco. I forget the name of it right now. Oh, Wayfair Tavern. Shout out Wayfair Tavern.
Is that Pier 39 down there?
No, it's on Sacramento Street. Okay. It's like near Sacramento and what's the name of it? Montgomery. It's I have a really funny story about that also.
Please.
It's I'm terrible with names. And
I park cars at the DoubleTree in Walnut Creek, California.
Oh, really?
I don't think it's a DoubleTree anymore, but there was a hotel there on Main Street.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's this actual celebrity chef who runs this restaurant, and the restaurant is amazing. If you ever get the chance, go to Wayfair Tavern. Super good restaurant. And yeah, I'm at this. I have to park the cars, and then I open the door for everybody coming into the restaurant. So I have this celebrity chef, and every time he comes in, I'll park his car and I'll open the door for him. And then a couple years go by, and you know, my YouTube channel is doing well. I quit the valet job and I'm just doing YouTube full time. And then I'm at his name is Tyler Florence. Tyler Florence. Shout out Tyler Florence. Super good dude. And then I'm at my booth at VidCon. You know what VidCon is?
That's the YouTube kind of conference.
Yeah, big YouTube conference. So YouTube says, hey, you can come do a booth, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there at my booth, and this guy comes up to me, and he says, hey, I'm a huge fan. And I said, you are Tyler Florence? And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, I got to tell you this crazy story. I was valet parking at your restaurant for like years. And it was probably like had been like 2 or 3 years since I had parked there. And then the look on his face was like, oh no, he was always a really good guy. Such a good dude. But that was,
and he was a skateboarder.
I don't think he's even a skater, but he's a chef. He's a celebrity chef, you know? He has several restaurants and he has like pro model pots and pans, you know? It's
Yeah.
Sick.
Dang, what a small world.
But yeah, he must be skateboarding a little bit or watching. Well, he was watching our videos for sure. You know, maybe his kids were getting into skateboarding. It's hard to say, but whatever it was, he was watching our videos. And then that for me was such a like, whoa, like reality shift. Like, wow, I really did something here. Tyler Florence, I used to open the door for him at his restaurant, and now he's telling me that he loves my videos. That's cool.
So
That's
cool.
really cool.
You put that video up in 2005 as kind of a latch ditch effort. You've told the story where your sponsors kicked you to the curb.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a Hail Mary. Okay, I'm just going to put this on YouTube. And it almost sounded like you had started thinking of other directions, maybe filmmaking. When that hit 350,000, were you just completely, and that was the most popular video in the history of YouTube for skateboarding at that point. Were you just completely beside yourself?
It was like a point of sheer confusion because it wasn't even like an intentional, like a Hail Mary kind of implies you're trying to do something smart.
You were taking your clothes to the Goodwill.
It was a total give up. It was like, you know, the quote at the beginning of the video is, when there's nothing left to burn, you set yourself on fire. It was my version of like, let's say I had a restaurant and then it totally failed. And then I just dumped gasoline on it and set it on fire. And then something in that fire went, okay, there's something here. So yes, I was beside myself. I was very, very confused because I had all at the same time, like more recognition than I'd ever had ever. You know, trying to come up in the skateboard industry is the hardest thing ever, literal hardest thing ever. There's not a lot of money to be made. It's, you know, you go to it's very, very tough and the competition is extremely tough. And yeah, so you're trying to get exposure. And I'm also at this point sort of a very shy person. I've clearly gotten over that over the years.
Did you get over that?
Yeah. I mean, I've made 5,000 videos.
Right. Well, I didn't know if you were going to be like, hey, it's still a struggle every time.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not at all. Like, I just got over it so much. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so I was in this sort of shocked, confused feeling like, what do I do now? And
no validation from the industry. Matter of fact, fuck you, get out. And then all of a sudden, the people have spoken.
Yeah, but what's interesting also is I was writing for a skateboard company called Reel, which is owned by Deluxe Distribution, which is also tied into Thrasher Magazine. And the Thrasher Magazine is the biggest, best, most badass skateboard company magazine there is, and they're sort of running the whole thing. And that part of the reason why that video went viral, and get this, is super weird, is they put it on the front page of their website.
Oh
yeah, so it was the same feeling of like, I just got kicked off. Basically, this company, they're sort of like sister companies working together, right?
Right.
I just gotten kicked off, and then they put it on their website, then it goes viral. And I was like writing for Bones as well. And I remember Bones put up Bones Wheels. Remember they put up a poll, I think on like Facebook. This is real old school, right? Maybe even MySpace. Yeah, they put up this poll. They were like, they showed my video part and then they're like, should Aaron Cairo be a sponsored skateboarder, professional skateboarder, whatever they said. And it was like 90% of people said like, yes. It was like very highly rated. But they never did anything. It's kind of an interesting thing because a lot of it is like who you know and all that kind of stuff, which is now that I've run my own business and I look back, I kind of go to myself, would I have put myself on at that point? I don't know. Would it be the right thing? Like, should Real Skateboards have made me a pro? I don't know. Probably not.
Right.
Probably not. you know, maybe it all just happened to fall into place the exact way it should have. And we ended up where we ended up. And the thing that I hope is not that like I created this alter thing that like, and that's where like this contrarian thing can kind of come into play. Like, I'm not trying to like countermand or counteract or be contrarian to the established pattern. I'm trying to just bring more people in. Like,
right. I mean,
that
you're very
is
clear
good.
about it.
That is good for everyone. But I think, you know, I haven't done a lot of these interviews and I haven't done these talks and I haven't really had a lot of time to just put all this information out there. So I think a lot of people think I might be like, down with those guys, whatever. I'm not like that at all.
I haven't heard that from anyone. But is that original video on this station?
Yeah, 100%.
It's the very first video on here.
If you type into the search bar, Aaron Cairo Braille skateboarding video part.
What if I just went to videos and ordered them by order?
That probably works.
Oh, I'm over here. Let's see.
If you go oldest.
They've changed everything here.
I know, it's madness.
Why did they do that? Okay, I should have just listened to you. Wait, where is the
Just go to that search bar. You got it.
Okay.
Aaron Cairo Braille skateboarding.
And then what was the other part you wanted me to put in?
That'll probably do it. Just that. Let's see what comes up. Down. Go down.
I can't believe you put a video up in 2005.
I think it was 2006, but we'll see here.
Okay.
Okay. Add to the end of that video part.
Oh yeah, you said
I
that.
have too many videos. Okay, so the third one down. 1, 2, boom, right there.
God, that is incredible. Oh yeah.
What's
And
the
how
date
many
on that?
videos are now on the site?
Between 4,000 and 5,000, and I have 2 channels too.
Why did you split channels? Why do you have 2 channels?
Good.
And do you regret doing that?
No, I wanted to make one. It was more sort of a community channel, and then it kind of just became like sort of a team channel. But no, I don't regret doing it. It's good.
Oh, you're right. December 28th, 2005.
December 28th, 2005?
Yeah.
Wow. For some reason, I kept thinking it was 2006. Okay. December 28th, 2005.
Well, it's 3 days. You were 3 days.
Yeah.
And I got that 2005, I think, from your TED Talk.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's the video right there.
And that started it all.
Yeah. Crazy world.
Could you even monetize YouTube back then?
No.
No,
that was
right.
the other thing. It was like, okay, I got this video. It got seen by a lot of people. But what do you do with that? What do you do with that now? I guess you try and get another sponsor and try and go the good old traditional route again. And I had basically the same exact thing happen. Got a new sponsor. They just randomly kicked me off. Didn't even tell me. Just cut ties.
The new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long did that last?
Probably like 4 months.
Man, and just all of a sudden the deposits stop.
Not even deposits, because a sponsor means no money. It just means they give you free boards.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's a rough road.
And from there, what is the development? Did you have the name Braille then?
Let's see. In 2005, no. And then I didn't. So then a friend of mine said, you could make money on YouTube. And I said, what does that even mean? He said, yeah, just monetize it and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't really understand it, but I instantly thought, that's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's the easiest thing ever. I've only made one video. I had 350,000 views. Maybe I could make more. And then I just did. I just made a bunch. And I really shotgunned everything I could think of. Made every kind of video I could think of. And then I made the tutorials, and those started going really well. The views. I made
the first one was the kickflip video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The first one that really did well. I'm not sure if it was the first tutorial I ever made, but I really planned that out. That was very strategic. And then that did 4 million views or something like that. And then I was like, I think I found my calling in life. Teach skateboarding.
Could you monetize at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What year did that happen, the monetization of YouTube? Do you remember?
My guess? Man, it's been so many years. I can't even believe it's 2022 and I'm almost 40. I still feel 13.
Yeah, me too. I feel 10.
I literally just got done riding skateboards and filming all day. Like, that's stupid.
Well, thank you for coming on here. I really appreciate it. Do you remember what year that they allowed monetization?
I don't. I was thinking my best guess would be maybe 2010.
And would you been part of that beta? Like, do they reach out to someone like you and they're like, okay, we want you to test this out?
No, I was definitely like just starting like everybody else. At that time, you had to have a certain amount of, it was all these rules, certain amount of views, and then you had to like apply for all these different things and connect them up. It was through AdSense, all kinds of stuff. And then they kind of simplified it and made it easier.
That's right. I remember the AdSense.
Yeah.
Aaron, I want to go back to your now wife and your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You said you met her at a Halloween party. And what year was that?
It was about 15 years ago. Bad with names and I'm bad with time.
Okay. So you were 25.
Something like that. Yes.
And how do you did you remember the courtship process?
Yeah, of course.
Can you share that with me?
Yeah. So I'm valet parking.
Uh-huh.
And my friend calls me and he goes, dude, I'm at this party. There's this chick here. You got to meet her. And I
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Cupid? Who's your buddy? Cupid?
Yeah, I guess so. I have friends looking out for me.
Right.
Yeah. And he knew I'd been looking for a girlfriend because my past girlfriends, whatever stuff happened, didn't work out. So I was looking for a good girlfriend. And he said, there's this girl here. I think you'd really like her. And I said, okay, I'm getting off work. And I just drove right up there. It was in Marin County, which is north of San Francisco. Totally random. Yeah, across the Golden Gate. Totally random. And I think my friends were also needed a ride home. You know, that was the other part of it.
Fair.
So
Now
I
the
got
truth
there.
comes out.
Yeah. And I got there and there was this guy and he had already asked her for her number. And I just went, you know, and I'm also like pretty shy at this point. Right. But I just went like, I don't care. I'm going to ask her. And then I asked her and then she gave me her number. And then I called her. I was so scared to call her. I remember being at my house, just being terrified. And then I asked her out on a date. And then she said yes. And then I went out on a date with her. And that guy that asked for her number ended up dating her friend. So it all kind of worked out. So he dated her friend. I dated her. And then we went to this restaurant. Oh, it was so embarrassing. It was like, I was just so like shy and in my sort of shell. Right. And I remember I was like, oh, I'm going to embarrass myself telling this story, but I was like, I'll have the number 16. And then she was like, no, it's $16. And I was like, we're not at McDonald's. That's the story she loves to tell. But that was our first date. And then,
that's good.
Yeah. And then we dated for a long time. And then she was pressuring me really hard to marry her. And I was like, I'm never going to marry you if you keep pressuring me. I'm never going to do that because then it won't be me wanting to marry you. I'll be in this confusion of, am I doing it because you want me to do it? And then she totally stopped. And then 6 months later, she went on a trip and I missed her so much. And then when she came back, I just boom, ring, proposed, and then we got married.
Wow. And then was it before you got married that you told her you were going to pursue this YouTube thing? You were going to quit your valet job?
I think that was post-marriage. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So you were married. How?
Pretty sure we were married already.
I'm fascinated by the fact that when did she become a believer? How long did it take? Because isn't that important? I know we kind of established that maybe you have some you're motivated by a little like, hey, you can't do this. But at some point you need her to be a believer, right?
Yeah. Do I need to be her to be? Probably. Yeah, good question. Well, I remember, okay, let's run it back a little bit. So I make that video, and then I start making tons of videos on YouTube, and it took me a whole year. So how the monetization works on YouTube, for anybody who doesn't know, is you make your money through AdSense ads. So your video goes up and YouTube puts an ad in front of it, and you as the creator get 55% of that revenue, and YouTube takes 45% of the ad. And if you have enough ads shown, you will make money. People always ask, well, how much is it per view? How much is it per subscriber? It's 0 per subscriber. That means nothing. And per view, it changes every single second, every single ad, because it's all different money. But you don't get paid any money until you have gotten $100. $100 is the payout threshold. So it took me a whole year of grinding pretty hard to make $100. So I think that's another thing that's important for people to understand, because if somebody's like, oh, I'm going to jump into YouTube and become a millionaire, like, okay, yeah, good luck. You can for sure, but it's going to be a grind. It took me a year to make $100. And then the next month, which I think is also important to understand, I made $100. So a whole year combined to make my first 100, then 1 month to make a second 100. And I got to the point where I think I had made in 1 month $800. And I was completely floored that I made $800. And I was the valet parking was also owned by skaters. They totally understood, and they was super cool. And so I was working 5 days, and then 4 days, and then 3 days, and 2 days. And as I made more money on YouTube, I would just drop days.
Right.
And even if I didn't, like, you can also call your skater friend and be like, dude, I don't want to work tonight. Can you pick up this shift? And you'd be like, yeah, bro, it's all good. So I would do that. And then eventually it was the decision to quit the job entirely and just push really hard on this. And yeah, she became a believer. Like I tell this story now and she gets really mad because she says, well, you didn't really explain it very well, which is I'm sure it's very true. I was probably like, I'm just going to make videos on YouTube. I don't even care, whatever. And then she was like, you're being rash and irrational, etc. But once the actual, like, okay, now it's like a very set thing and real money is starting to come in. Then she's like, oh yeah, this is like a real thing. This is workable. You're making more money on this than you were valet. So that's totally fine. It's all good.
And then she becomes a believer. And where does that intersect with your and then tell me when the name Braille comes in and when that intersects with your vision of make this the world's largest, making skateboarding the world's largest sport.
Yeah. So the name Braille came in because I was trying to, I didn't want it to be called Aaron Cairo, because if you call something your name, it's always just you, and there's not so much that you can do with it. But if you have a name, there's many things you can do with it. So I already knew, like, I need to have a name, and I knew I wanted it to be something very random. If I could go back in time and redo all of this, I would not choose the name Braille. I would choose something that better describes teaching, various things like that. But back then I just went, I'm going to pick a random name. So the two names I had in mind were Toast. As random as that is, Toast.
I like it.
Yeah. And then Braille was the other one. And then there's a common phrase in skateboarding. People say, I'm feeling this board. I'm feeling this spot. And then I kind of went, Braille. It's kind of a play on words. And so the original thing was Braille skateboarding. I'm feeling it.
Okay.
Was the slogan. And it originally started because I was skateboarding. I moved to San Francisco. I was skateboarding. That actual first video was a combination of two video parts that I was working on. And if I'm explaining anything that doesn't totally make sense, let me know. Because some people don't totally understand even a video part in the skateboarding world is tantamount to an artist's album. Like, you're a musician.
In your I'm sorry video, you were using that term part and I couldn't follow it. Okay.
Yeah, I probably should make a whole video explaining this. So a musician will play their instrument or do their band or whatever it is, and they'll work for years, sometimes not years, and they'll put out an album. And that's they have worked morning, day, noon, and night to put out their best music, and they put it into 10 or so songs, selling that album, etc. So in the skateboard world, your video part, that's your best tricks to a song. It should represent you. It should represent what you're about. And I was working on 2 of them for independent video filmmakers. One was called Seasons out of San Francisco, and the other one was called this video magazine called Ghetto Fabulous out of San Jose, California. It's filming for both of those at the same time. So those videos both came out. And what the filmmaker would do is he would make the video, and then he would get a DVD, and he would sell the DVD for $2 at the skate spot. And I would just see this guy struggling. There's so much struggling in skateboarding. It's actually unbelievable. Sometimes you go, this guy, he's one of the world's greatest athletes. And then you go, how much are you getting paid? You're a pro. So these guys they back then are what I'm trying to do with my life. And then I go, how much are you getting paid? They're going, yeah, I make $200 a month. And I'm going, $200 a month? You can't eat on that. You definitely can't pay your rent on that. And
Right.
so then I find out, well, that, yeah, they're working 2 other jobs plus being a pro. And I'm like, these are the best of the best. Some of them, right? Obviously, there are some skateboarders that have the Nike contract and they're making great money, etc. But it's fascinating just to see the interworkings of those struggles. And then I saw that with these filmmakers, and then I just felt for them. And then I thought, there's a better way to do this. I'm going to start a website, and we're going to sell digital downloads.
Oh,
So that's what Braille was originally. I built the website, and I was selling digital downloads of my friends' videos.
of your friends' parts.
Yeah, of my friends' videos that I had parts in. So, it was, and then I was trying to branch out and get more videos, but then you have to get the rights to the videos. Then there's all red tape and this crazy stuff like that. And then YouTube came about by the random way of, that video. But when I got kicked off, I pulled both of those video parts, combined them. I edited it, combined them with the weirdest music I could find.
Ah, now I see.
On purpose. And then it all kind of, it was all.
So let me see if I understand this. You were featured in 2 independent filmmakers videos, and in those videos, there's a part that's the Aaron Cairo part. I've seen this in surf videos too, and your name pops up, and a new song starts, and you do all this crazy cool shit, and everyone's standing around in their living room smoking weed, watching you.
Yes.
Okay. And then, and so you took, did they, and were they okay with you taking their 2 parts?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then you put it up on YouTube. Wow. Thank you for sharing all this.
Yeah.
Are you, and then this, I'm sorry video, you said something in the beginning of this podcast. You said, I haven't done a lot of these interviews. I haven't spoken out a lot. And there were a couple of things in there when I saw that I'm sorry video that were, it's a little bit of a soul bearing video. You're bearing your soul to your community.
Yeah.
And you say something about how you haven't been around for 4 years.
4 years? No.
Is that what you said? No. How long has it been?
It was probably close to a year, probably around a year. Yeah.
Okay. I misunderstood. Sorry. What does that mean that you haven't been around for a year? And because from looking at your YouTube, it's still prolific.
Yeah.
And then you also bear your soul in there, which I thought was fascinating, which any pro athlete could glean a lot from this, about you're planning on having another part, but you're 39 and you come to recognize that it may not look the way you want it or the way the public wants it. So let's start with this thing. Where did you go for a year?
Yeah, so I went to school, and I didn't go to like a traditional I'm just like going to university. I went and I did some courses. I did some courses online. I went and I met with some CEOs. So my company, I was the CEO for Braille Skateboarding for a very long time. And then also getting into part of why I didn't want to call it Aaron Cairo, right? Because then it's just me and all that I'm doing, and that's all it is. So then I hired a CEO, and then I put that CEO onto their job and said, great, you're the CEO, run all the business aspects of it because I want to skateboard. And then funny enough, I felt like that I was still sort of stuck into just running the business still. In fact, not being the CEO almost made me more stuck into being the CEO. So just recently, I haven't even announced this yet, but I will make a video about it. Now I'm back in the CEO seat. But what I went to do to learn about how to run a business, because I'm just a skater. I'm a skater and I know how to make videos, and I ended up with this business under me, and I made some good and some very bad decisions. You know, even with a CEO, I was still the founder, so I was making a lot of decisions, right? But yeah, I went and I did courses on business. I did courses online. I went and talked to CEOs. I learned everything that I could, you know, and my wife, her father, he's an awesome Jewish businessman, and he sold his business.
Racist.
Shout out Stu Rosenbaum.
Sounds like
Shout
a
out.
great dude. Sounds like a great dude.
He's such a good guy. And he,
hey, do you want me to tell you something real quick? I want to put this in here. I believe that Jewish people they find hard work sexy. They find ambition. They find they do. They find hard work and ambition sexy, and they know how to it's too superficial to say they see earning potential in their mates. It's too modern, but they see something that, like you were saying earlier, tantamount to earning potential, but it's some caveman shit. And it's the same thing. My wife's Jewish. I have 3 little Jew boys, and I'm the hardest. She met me when I was homeless, but I'm the fucking hardest work. I'm a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
And so I see that, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. You got scooped up by a Jewish girl who it didn't matter whether you were valeting. She saw you were a lump of coal, and she knew you were going to be a diamond. They know. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to throw that little.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
Tidbit in there.
Yeah, I think that is very true.
And your wife's very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so
I get that a lot. How did you catch such a beautiful girl? I don't know, actually.
I have tremendous earning potential. Okay. So you were gone for a year, and there was another guy in caretaker of your baby, and there was something you said there. What was the mechanism that made you feel like it was more work, even though you had passed it aside?
Yeah, I think all of these things. You know, you ever heard that thing like hindsight is 20/20? Yeah, it's like when you're looking into the future, it can be very vague and mysterious, and you have no idea what's going to happen. And being a business owner, especially through 2020 coronavirus lockdown, which did a lot of very interesting things to skateboarding. And keeping all of your employees going and keeping everybody paid and paying for a warehouse. I have 2 warehouses, in fact. Wow. It's not as easy as somebody thinks. You know, I think a lot of people from the outside looking in, they just see this rave success story, overnight success, which I like, okay, I've been working so unbelievably hard for years and years. I've been skateboarding for 39 years. No, sorry. 29 years. I'm 39 years old, started at 10, 29 years skateboarding, and working on my business. Oh, it's been brutal, right? And I have made bad decisions in taking my company in some directions that were not totally right and correct. And if I could go back, I would reverse those. I would do it a different way. But a lot of those decisions were from a place of business CEO type stuff, not passion skateboarder. I'm running this company. That's how I love to do things type stuff.
Like you followed some shiny objects instead of staying true to your vision.
Yeah, like I can just tell you some just real examples. We had a series of toys release, and Target sold them. So it was a pretty wild, interesting thing. And people just go, oh, you have toys in Target? Well, clearly you're like a billionaire. But it's interesting from my side of it because, yes, we had toys in Target. The first launch of the toys in Target sold out, completely sold out. And then Target went, whoa, this is a good seller. Let's buy a bunch of stock. And then they bought so much stock. Season 2 did not sell out. And then season 3, which was made, never got purchased. And that gets into like a pretty rough situation where Target made these purchases. They want this, they want the item sold. Come on, let's go. And then I'm like, am I working for myself and doing my passion project of teaching people how to skateboard? Or am I trying to sell toys for Target?
Oh,
It's a different direction. We went completely off the rails. And I kind of knew that that was kind of the direction. But, you know, I see I have this big passion. And then the way that people sell me on things like this, they go, well, how many people are Toys and Target going to introduce into skateboarding? And I went, I'm willing.
They know your kryptonite.
I'm willing to give that a try. And I can tell you, it didn't.
It did not.
No, it did not. I did not add a bunch of YouTube subscribers and get a bunch of people watching tutorial videos because I had Toys and Target. I just didn't. The numbers very clearly show. At the end of the day, you can say like, oh, this is cool or that's cool. But at the end of the day, the numbers are the hard statistics. It's black and white. You can't lie. You can't deny it. You know, so that I think hurt us as a company. I think it hurt us financially. I think it hurt. Yeah. And it kind of took us down a path that we didn't necessarily mean to go on or need to go on. And nothing like, again, it's like no hard feelings to anybody that was involved in that project. Is totally, you know, it's totally rad. It was really rad also to walk into a Target and see your brand on the shelf. That's also like pretty. What
was the toy?
It was fingerboards.
Oh,
yeah. So if you know, on our YouTube channel, we do a lot of really weird boards.
yeah.
So we made weird board fingerboards, and they were sort of like collectibles. And it was great. It, like, if I wanted to, I could just market and sell those, and I could do really great at those. Yeah, I can type in like Braille fingerboards. It'll come up.
For the thing. I was just thinking of all the weird shit you guys have skated to.
Yeah. Glass skateboards, mattress. All of these were made into fingerboards. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
that's an Xbox.
Oh, so the fingerboards. Oh, it was kind of like the Cabbage Patch Kids of fingerboards.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of a brilliant idea. Wow.
They were really cool. They were super cool. And honestly, if I wanted to just go all out and turn my channel into like fingerboard mania, I could have kept selling those and it would have done great. But on all of these kinds of deals, like, you have to understand, to make fingerboards, it does cost a lot of money. I don't have that money. I don't have that money to even start it. So that means somebody else is putting that money forward, and it's a business relationship with more than two entities. And then by the time any money filters back to me, I go, man, it wasn't really worth it at all.
Right.
You know, so then you have also the stigma of all the people thinking, oh, well, you have Toys and Target, you're a multi-millionaire, blah, blah, blah. And I go, man, I would have made more money if I didn't have them in there.
Right. Did it damage your brand at all?
I think so.
To be affiliated with Target?
Honestly, it's hard to say. And at
damage
the end of the
isn't
day,
the right word either. I apologize for using that word. I should have come up with a better
okay.
word.
That's okay. It's hard to say because, well, another thing that we did is we did a skateboard.
Look at this chainsaw fucking skateboard. This
Yes,
thing's savage.
Yeah. Yeah, it was actually really cool, right?
Oh God, that's so cool. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Back to Target going there. Did it screw with your image?
Yeah, it's really hard to say, but in that kind of sense, we get a little bit into like, did it screw with my image for the skateboard industry, as we were talking about it earlier? Absolutely. I mean, they are savage. They hate anything that has to do with mainstream, blah, blah, blah. It's total pure hatred.
They tore you up on Reddit. They tore you up on Reddit in the cesspool called Reddit.
Yeah. In fact, I need to get on Reddit.
Do not.
Some kid, he said, these kids send me rumors and they say like, oh, I found this on Reddit. And they say, I guess you're not on Reddit. And I say, no.
Don't ever go there. It's pointless. It's pointless.
Yeah. You think?
Dude, it's YouTube without the videos. It's idiot land. It is the grossest place on the internet. It's vile.
That's kind of
it's an unhealthy place, I think.
Yeah, that's what I get from it as well. But then I
Yeah.
get some people, they think like, how do people think that what is written on Reddit is a real thing? And that's what also makes me go, I need to do more podcasts.
Oh,
Actually just talk about things
choose wisely.
on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean you're a good talker, but man, there's some out there that are just. So Aaron, can you tell me about yourself while I sit back here? Go.
Oh yeah, and then I just go on and on and on.
Well,
and then-
they won't. Yeah, they want you to carry their podcast for them. I feel like it's the vast majority. The good thing, I think there's 2.7 million podcasts currently, and so
wow.
yeah, it's a the last thing my wife ever wanted me to hear was, "I'm starting a podcast. Don't worry, I'll be able to pay the bills." It might be worse than skateboarding.
Do you pay the bills with your podcast?
I do.
Wow, well done, very well done.
Thank you. But I had an amazing job. I was in charge of everything forward facing at CrossFit HQ, at CrossFit from when it was 300 gyms to 15,000 gyms.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
I had a very, very similar story to you. I went the filmmaker route. You went the skateboarding route and then filmmaker. I went the filmmaker route.
And it didn't work out in traditional industry, so you went a different way.
Yeah, I was a homeless guy who, the day Final Cut Pro came out, I bought it, and I bought that black G5 laptop that you could edit videos on. It was Final Cut Pro 1. I think it was 2002 or 3 or something.
Yeah.
And I was homeless. I plugged it into the cigarette lighter of a car. I bought a used car.
Wow.
And I learned. It took me fucking 2 weeks to load all 10 DVDs. I'm not joking. I was on the phone. I was like, it was every penny I had from this fucking job I had where it was taking care of developmentally disabled adults. It was nuts.
Yeah. Well done.
I started making movies and TV shows while living out of my car. It was cool.
That is very cool. That is the grind. That is the grit. That's the real.
That's why when you say all this stuff and people don't know how hard you work, like I know, like you were there working and your eyes fell asleep and then you climbed into bed and then you slept a little bit and then you got out and went back to.
Yes.
In your TED Talk, you call it passion.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I do think that there's this other quote. I think it's from the Apple dude, the dude that did the Apple. He's like
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, Steve Jobs. He's like saying, yeah, I don't think if you don't have the passion, I just don't think you would carry through with it because you have to be like kind of crazy, psychotic, or what. I'm butchering the quote, but yeah, it does, that passion, it is behind it. You see some of these guys, you think, oh, I'll just jump on Twitter and do some streams and make $1 million. No, the guy that's making $1 million on Twitter spent 13 hours every single day for the last 10 years, and now he's making it somewhere. There's grind in there. It's real.
Yeah. Your story, I love that story. The first year you made $100 and in month 13, you made $100. Mm-hmm. And when you say that, like as someone who walked that walk too, man, the month 13th, you can't even believe it. It's the happiest $100 you ever made.
Oh my God. In fact, when I made
what?
2 cents, the first 2 cents I made, I remember looking at the computer and going, oh my God, I made this video and it made 2 cents.
Yeah.
And I literally had this thought, I will make $1 million. Because it just was so real to me that it felt like I could create something out of thin air and it made 2 cents. And then I was like, if you can create something out of thin air, just do it again and again and again. Repetition. 5,000 videos later.
How many unbroken bones have you had in your skateboarding career? I saw a picture of your wrist.
Yeah, let's see.
They got smooshed.
So my wrist was a compound fracture, which, what does that mean exactly? It means that these 2 bones basically smashed into each other and there was really no break there. It just, oh yeah, this is so stupid. I'm skating this ramp. I'm doing all these tricks. I do a whole series of me learning tricks. And this is footage from the security cam. That's why it looks kind of funny. And then I'm just randomly riding and do the stupidest fall, not even trying anything right there. And I break my wrist. I love this thing. Happens to the best of us. Ha
And so how many, do you know how many broken bones you've had?
Yeah, so I don't think I would count that as a broken bone. Compound fracture, maybe. If we count that as one, we'll count that as one. And then I broke my foot in 2 places on 1 injury. So that's 3. And
How long ago was that?
10 years ago. Long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's probably 3 broken bones and
Not
probably
bad, dude.
Yeah, not bad at all. And probably 15 sprained ankles. That's the injury of choice. Knock on wood, never again. Thank you. Sprained ankles is the worst.
Because when you talk about why the sport does scare people.
Yes.
Like moms are terrified. Like, you know, the kid's dropping into a 10-foot bowl or 8-foot bowl. And my wife struggles watching my 8-year-old do that. I don't blame her. She made that thing and now it's got face for it's just like jumping into a concrete bowl.
Right. Well, okay, let me talk about that a little bit because statistically, people go, people go, oh, well, let's let our kid do football or basketball. Well, statistically, they're more likely to get injured doing football or basketball than skateboarding. But skateboarding seems extremely dangerous. This is why like skateboarding itself literally needs a PR campaign. Like all the skateboarders need to get together and we need to decide that skateboarding is cool and it's good. And then we need to start talking about these things and telling the moms that it's not that dangerous and getting some programs put into the schools for kids to learn how to skate, because it does teach a lot of very good life skills. Like when you were in that car and you were editing the videos, you were on your own. It's the same. You have a skateboard. It's a piece of wood with some wheels. You're on your own. You're going to learn that trick if you push through. It teaches persistence, teaches you to go out every day, dedication, you fall, get back up, etc. All these things, really, really good life lessons. But yeah, it's actually not that dangerous. In fact, the reason it does become dangerous is because you're not learning the tricks in the correct order. So that was a huge thing that I did. I went through and I mapped out what would be the correct order. And the
progressions.
The progression of the tricks. And if you learn them in the correct order and you wear a helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, it's way safer than football, basketball, all of them, because you're just learning how to, I say this all the time in my videos, it's a meme now. You have to get really comfortable riding your board. And that's what people skip. They go, oh, what do I want to do? They want to learn a kickflip. Kickflip is so cool. That's why how to kickflip had 4 million views. Everyone wants to learn a kickflip. But before the kickflip, there is a series of 7 tricks, which you must learn. I also don't want to make skateboarding into like this, like, I don't know. It's not school. It is very independent and it is do whatever you want, but there is a correct good path. So I mapped it out as ollie, frontside 180, backside 180, pop shove, front shove, heel flip, kick flip. These are the 7 tricks and you do those. And what I say is if you want to learn how to kick flip, you'll learn how to kick flip faster by learning all 7 tricks than if you just go to kick flip. You're trying to go into advanced calculus without learning how to do addition. And that's not good. And that's where you get hurt because you're not ready for that. So the kid tries to drop in on a ramp. Well, he's not ready. He doesn't even know how to ride a board. He's not going to drop in. He's not going to ride down a hill. But you just see, you see these clips.
Dude, Aaron, I see kids all the time. I know you see it too. So basically what I did with my kids for the first 6 months of riding a skateboard, I had them ride 1 mile each direction along this path, along the beach every day for 6 months.
Yeah.
That was it. The first time that mile took 3 hours.
Right.
After 6 months, it was crazy. And after 6 months, it still took 40 or 50 minutes. The learning curve was insane. They were tiny. He was 5.5.
Right.
Then we would go. So now I see kids at the skate park. Now my kid's 8.
Yeah.
All these crazy shit.
Yeah.
I see kids at the skate park who can do tricks that he can't even come close to doing.
Right.
But when I see them skating in a straight line, they can't even fucking skate. They look like complete fucking goofballs. They look like popsicle sticks on the board. They have no bend. They have no style. They have no oneness with the board. I see it everywhere. And I see kids actually, parents dropping their kids into bowls and the kids can do it. But then the ride's over and they get up to the top again. But the kid can't actually skate across the skate park. It's nuts.
Right. because they didn't learn
That
their
shit's
basics.
dangerous.
It is. But even then, statistically, you're more
I hear you. Dude, you can't go to a collegiate women's soccer team and not see a scar from an ACL surgery.
Right.
All of them, 100%. They all got it.
Right.
Or whatever that surgery is with the line up and down the knee, whatever that. They all got it, 100%.
Yeah.
You ever lost a friend to a skateboarding accident?
No.
Good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. And it's got to be snowboarding's another one that's crazy.
Yes. I think it's kind of a similar thing though. Like if you learn it correctly and blah, blah, blah. Like I think anything, if you learn it correctly, but sometimes when there's a lot of team sports involved, then there's all kinds of things because you have people smashing into each other. And, you know, like hockey, they're going to punch each other in the face. That's injury city, right?
Right.
Different scenario. But if you really learn things correctly on the correct, learning it the correct, proper way, you should be able to get very skilled at whatever it is you're trying to do.
I look at your Instagram account and I'm looking at it and I've been following you for about a year now. Maybe a little more, maybe 2 years. Maybe I started, probably 2 years. You popped on the radar. I feel like you own YouTube, which I so admire, and it's so helpful. If you type in skateboarding YouTube, the Braille stuff pops up. My kids absolutely love it.
Awesome.
And you've kept your head, how am I going to get to this? You've kept your head pretty clean. And then I saw this. I did not expect to see this. Here we go. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. I mean, I'm projecting on, I have no idea exactly what you're saying, but I think I know what you're saying, and I'm projecting onto what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I really fucking appreciate this. This video here that came out, and I'll go ahead and play it here.
Quit my job and you called me crazy. I started a business and you said it was stupid. And that business, it went under and you said I told you so. So I started another one and you said some people just never learn. But that business took off. And now you are coming after me because of my privilege. But maybe you're right. Maybe I am privileged. Because if I was born with your attitude, I never would have made it either. I quit my job and you called me crazy.
I was just dumbfounded to see that. I was like, wow. I saw the I'm sorry video, and then I saw this, and I said, oh, this guy's going for it. Something's going on here. He's going for it. Can you tell me a little bit about that video? What was the inspiration for it? I mean, there's a bunch of stuff there. It's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
comment about self-belief, but also a comment to like society.
Yeah.
I think that's what I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so in my little description there, I said, my feed is full of inspirational quotes. And I do love these inspirational quotes. Well, love-hate relationship, but that was one that I just saw. That wasn't my audio. That wasn't me.
Oh, that's not you talking?
No, that's not me talking.
Okay.
That's just one of those things that you just see the inspirational quote and you go like, I'm using this audio for this video.
Okay.
But yes, all of these do have sort of like a very deep, meaningful thing in my life. That's why I choose them. Right. But yeah, it's kind of like that. One specifically kind of goes back to my wife not wanting me, not thinking that doing this is a good idea. And just, I don't know. I feel like so many people in the world are in this situation, especially, you know, from my experiences, I see this time period of a person's life when they finish high school. And after you finish high school, you don't really know what to do. You're going to go to college or maybe not. But you have to choose a career and you have to go into the world. And I feel like that time period right there is so utterly confusing. It was for me. I was terrified. And I did go to university. I went for a year to film school. Then I dropped out to be a professional skateboarder. But it was so scary. And I just want to inspire people to do what they think they should do. because I think oftentimes it's like the kid wants to be a musician or whatever he wants to be, and then his parents or the society or school or whatever is saying, you must be a lawyer, a stockbroker, a doctor, whatever, any of these things, right? And then they might not realize it until they're 40 that what they did, they didn't want to do that. And then they kind of wasted a good significant portion of their life, you know, and hopefully they didn't end up on drugs or in some bad condition because of that, which is, you know, now there's a lot of stuff, you know, mental health, etc., that can get into that kind of thing. But I do, and my TED talk is very heavy on this as well, right? The passion, you got to really just follow your passion. But I think there's so little support out there, especially in skateboarding. There's this guy I was just talking to today who wants to work with us on some business things in Europe. And he was saying, yeah, I remember being a kid and going into the skate shop being utterly terrified. And I think what you're doing with skateboarding is you're trying to remove that. And it was dead on. Because, yeah, as a kid, you go into the shop, there's so much stigma. People call you a poser. You know, it's not really, you know, if you want to start playing tennis, you get a new tennis racket, you're not made fun of. But in skateboarding, you are. Why do we do that? It's kind of a funny thing, right? So we're trying to remove some of that. Like another kid on one of the social media platforms is a new skater. He said, why is skateboarding so toxic to people, new skaters? And it just is. So I'm trying to make it less toxic, trying to make it more open, trying to make this whole vibe of let's help the new people learn.
It's always nice when you go to a skate park and there's like a godfather there. There's like some 25-year-old kid there who's like keeping the peace. He says hi to the parents. He says hi to the kids. He picks up people's boards. He tells kids, hey, throw your shit away, kids. Like, it's always nice when there's some kid there, you know, holding down the fort. I go to the Scotts Valley Park in Scotts Valley, California quite a bit.
Yeah.
And there's a dude there, and all the kids now have taken lessons from him, and he's dope.
Yeah, so that guy is supporting the skateboarding scene.
Yes, huge.
Yeah.
His name's Luke.
And shout out Luke.
Yeah, huge.
And if Luke was not there, who knows? Maybe that park would be empty. But oftentimes you have the best
or
skater.
dickheads would take it over. Dickheads would take it over.
Right. And then that would eventually probably empty it out.
And you know what he does too? He doesn't be a dickhead back to them. He loves them.
That's the key.
Yeah, he turns them to mush.
Yeah.
Yeah, he turns them to mush. Yeah, it's cool. We go to Sunnyvale once a week too. Do you know that park? That's probably
of course.
Yeah, and there's a guy there who holds the park down.
Who's that? Who's in Sunnyvale?
And he made a video with one of your buddies. It's Josh. Josh.
Okay, Josh. He does skateboard lessons YouTube channel.
Yes.
What's it called?
Yes, but Josh Bolo, maybe his last name. Yes. And he did a video with you.
One of my guys.
One of your homeboys. Yeah. Yes. Cool dude who does the blonde haired cat with the long hair. What's his name?
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky. Ricky Grazier.
Yeah, Ricky Glaza, mate. Straight from Australia.
Oh, Ricky Glaza. Yeah. Yeah. But that dude holds down that park.
Yes. Yes.
Josh holds it down gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically need that at every park and need that at every skate shop. And there's another, skate shops need to build their scene around their shop, even just to survive as a shop. And it can get a lot of, skateboarding goes through these wild gyrations of very, very huge popularity, very, very not popular. So in 2020, I don't know if you know this, but 2020, skateboard sales went completely through the roof.
It makes sense. It was one of the few places we could go where the kids didn't have to wear masks. I mean, a lot of them still did, but you were free.
Yeah. So the skateboard sales went so high that there became a demand, a very heavy demand for wood, raw materials for all skateboard trucks, urethane. Wow. And it was every skateboard company in the world, including myself, was trying to buy skateboards because you couldn't even get the skateboards. They were selling faster than you could get them.
Wow.
So this 2020 was this huge ramp up, but now in 2021, you have this situation where every skateboard company in the world is overstocked and the skateboard sales died. And now everybody has boards and they're not selling. And that's a tough situation to be in. Very, very tough. And to make it through that as a business owner requires extreme skill. And there's a lot of companies that you won't see make it through that. Sad to say.
Hence the CEO school you created for yourself.
Yeah, and coming back on as the CEO and going, okay, we need to sort of get back to our grassroots here. And I'm working on this app. I have an app right now, and I'm getting it rebuilt and redesigned to be less of social media app, more of you're learning to skateboard, and that's the end of it. And then I'm just going to be pushing this forward.
Look at this,
that.
guys. Look at this.
Number 3.
The Braille Army showing so much love to the app. We are number 3 on the Apple Store for sports. This is crazy that you're in here next to these behemoths.
Isn't that crazy? What a day.
Yeah.
That was launch day. That was launch day.
Not only skateboards, the parks got inundated with roller skaters too, which was kind of cool. They've
What
kind of
is the
vanished a
deal
little
with
bit.
that? The
but
other
roller
day I went to
skaters-
the park, there were no skateboards and only roller skaters. This is a huge thing right now.
I think that was part of the sort of like, hey, you can't do anything, you can't go to work, and I think a lot of people were like, hey, I'm going to try something new, and I started seeing all sorts of people show up with roller skates,
Yeah.
which is cool. I liked it.
Quads. Actual roller skates.
Yes.
The super hardcore ones call them quads. 4 wheels. We're not talking roller blades. Anybody out there? We're talking roller skates.
And with they brought in a lot of cool music.
Yeah. Yeah, so 2020 was really good area to get new people into skateboarding, and I hope this is the kind of thing, like, we have to have that mentality of when those new people come in, we need to help them because they need to continue going, because that's what I hear so much. I used to watch your channel, I used to skateboard, but I want to go, how do we remove that? They quit. How do we just take out all the barriers that's making them quit?
Drop out of school like my kids did. My kids
Did they drop
skateboard-
out?
I mean, they're 2 5-year-olds and an 8-year-old. They don't go to school. They skate every day. They
Yeah.
skate, jiu-jitsu, tennis. Do you do other sports?
No, not really. No time.
Do you lift weights?
Yeah, but only for like, oh, I'm going to go really hard and try and learn this trick. I better lift some weights. It'll help me. Everything's so like skateboarding is geared around that.
How's your how's your squatting? Do you squat? How are your legs?
No,
and your
I don't.
knee?
Yeah,
No.
good question. I have no idea. I do nothing like that. I'll do push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups. I'm trying to work on my core strength because I'm having pain in my lower back.
Yeah.
But not like, I have no idea. I don't know what I can bench. I'm sure it's not much, but my legs are probably quite strong.
Yeah. Yes.
From skateboarding.
And you skate switch, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
God, that's so.
I'm
much
not the best, but I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much healthier for you. What about finding a CrossFit gym near you to rehabilitate you, to put you through the foundational movements of squatting,
Yeah, good question. I have no idea. When I try squatting specifically, it hurts my knees, and I know it's not supposed to, but it does. And then I go, I've never injured my knees. I've never had knee pain, but when I do squats, I do have knee pain. And I think I'm doing it incorrect. I actually have been thinking about maybe I'll do a video series of a 40-year-old skateboarder. I'm so playing into this 40 thing. I'm not even 40 yet.
Yeah.
40-year-old skateboarder learning, getting back and learning all the tricks I used to be able to do. In fact, I shouldn't even say that, just learning new tricks. I can probably do all the tricks. It's like riding a bike. Even if I don't skateboard for a little while, I can step back on and do some of the hardest tricks that I could do hard for me, not talking about other people, but yeah. So I've been thinking about maybe getting a personal trainer and doing that. I think I need somebody to help me though.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. keep this in mind.
Yeah.
It's not biblical, but one of the things that you can do to help your back is to squat. And the reason why it's
Really?
hurting is just because you haven't done it. And to do the exact opposite of everything they told you. When you squat, you want to hold stuff in your frontal plane, meaning in
Mm.
front of you. And then when you squat, then your core will naturally get strong where it's supposed to be. And that abdominal wall will then start giving you the support you need for your back.
Okay.
As
interesting.
opposed to doing crunches.
Oh yeah, crunch is no good. Crunch is
It's not
good?
that it's not that it's no good. I think you just want to get into functional movements.
Mm.
And a crunch it's not bad, but it's not functional.
Right.
Squatting's functional because it's what you do to take a shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the second you can't do that, that's when you go to the old folks' home.
Right.
So you gotta
You gotta continue being able to take a
But I bet you they could fix that knee. How about bike riding? Do you do bike riding?
No. I
No.
mean, I rode a bike today for a video. That doesn't really count. No, nothing like that.
You're a businessman, professional athlete. How about kids?
Today somebody sent me a CrossFit jump ropes.
Oh.
And I've got a 1/2 pound, 1 pound, 2 pound, maybe a 1/4 pound, 4 different ones. And I thought, wow, this is hard. 2 pound jump rope. I went straight to
that's
2
crazy.
pounds.
Of course you
I was
did.
like, dude, this is so good though. I was like, if I did this, I would be so ripped. No, I don't have any kids. I have 2 dogs, which are being very quiet, unusually quiet downstairs. Just for our podcast.
Thank you, dogs. What kind of dogs?
Border collies.
Oh, smarty pantses.
Yeah.
Are you going to have kids?
I always wanted kids. My wife didn't want kids. We went through this whole period where we were like, we're going to have kids. We're not. We are. We're not. And now I'm going to be 40. And I feel like, am I going to have kids now? And my kid's 10 and then I'm 50. I don't know. It's still kind of up in the air, to be honest.
I want to show you something. So I had my first kid at 43.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
My wife was 39.
Okay. So my wife is 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
So I'm going to be 40. She'll be 35. Right now she's 34, right? Math is a thing. Yeah. So I think that was part of it. You know, I think I was more ready than she was. And then now we're just kind of like, maybe sometime it'll happen. Now we have our dogs and we're like, those are our kids.
Yeah. That's how we started.
Yeah, we started with the dogs.
Dogs, yeah. You'd be a fantastic father.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me that.
You'd be a fantastic father. Is there anyone else on planet Earth who has your vision to make skateboarding the world's largest sport and to introduce more people to skateboarding, or to introduce people to skateboarding as sort of like your life mission?
Yeah, good question. I think that there are. Sometimes my friends say, hey, I listened to this podcast and this guy has very similar goals to you. You should check it out. And I never really get around to checking it out. But I do think there are. And I think there's a way to sort of get all these people together. I've been trying to figure out how to do this. And I not only have my channel, but I also have a French channel. I have a Russian channel.
Wow.
I have many different channels. So I have probably like 6 or 7 channels that all have over 100,000 subscribers in different languages. So I'm trying to really go, I've made all these tutorials. For kids that can't speak English, they need their, Polish.
Right.
They need their Polish tutorials. So I'm trying to spread it that way. But I think maybe a really good way is to find the people with the common goals and go, well, what can you do in your area? This is a thing I'm going to sort of launch into in 2023, which with the question you asked me earlier, am I glad I did the second channel? The answer is yes, because that's the purpose of it. Right now, it's just second videos that we make, but eventually what it should be and what it's supposed to be is the community channel. I'll tell you this cool story. I did this project with this guy. Here, I'll grab this board real fast.
Oh, that's nice. They just come off the wall like that. That's really nice.
Yeah, you just pull them off the wall. So there's this, get on Facebook and I have this message from this skater in Africa. And he's like, hey, I found your video, learned how to skateboard. And then I started getting all these kids in my little village to learn how to skateboard. And, you know, they have pictures of them with like pieces of wood with like any kind of wheel you could imagine, just fastened to this piece of wood in any kind of way you could imagine it. But he has this class of probably like 30 to 40 kids, which is a lot, you know, and he's teaching them in this random village in Africa. And then I said, you know, I'm going to do a little fundraiser and I'm make this board, which I think turned out pretty cool. First try, has the Braille skater. And we sold these and then sent the profits to him. And I tried to send him boards. It was the hardest thing ever to get the boards to him. It took probably 8 months.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I sent the boards. They got stopped by the local government. And I wanted to go to Africa. And I actually hired somebody to go there and film a documentary with this guy. And then I had the guy hired. I was about to buy plane tickets. Thankfully, I didn't yet. And he said, you know, the local king needs to approve the video shooting before you arrive. And then it got into all of these legalities. And then we just went, we can't do this project. But it's so cool because he went forward and got an amazing skate park built. I mean, this is like,
really?
Yeah.
A cement skate park?
A cement skate park. The name of his organization is We Skate Mongu. You can check it out on Instagram. We Skate, and the name of the town is Mongu, Mongu. And, you know, it's pretty wild, the stories, because it's like these kids, where are they going to go? They're going to go into gangs, street gangs, drugs, you know, the kind of stuff that's in the world. It's a rough place out there. And instead of doing that, they're learning to ride skateboards, which I think is so beautiful.
Isn't Mongu when you have your foot in the back?
No, that's Mongo. Very close.
Mongo. Okay.
Yeah, go. I mean,
why is that bad?
Facebook.
Why is that bad?
It's not. Well, okay. If you're trying to do a trick that you need to set up really fast for, yeah, click that. That's the park this dude got built. Look at this thing. Look at that. It's amazing.
Oh, these kids really skate.
Yeah. And that's a real park.
Yeah, dang.
That's no joke. When I was doing this thing and sending him the boards, I mean, they were on the street, literal street. But that is a real skate park.
Wow.
Shout out Johnny Kalenga. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, even after all these years. And the We Skate Mongu. So amazing. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm blown away.
Yeah. So I love stories like this. I love helping people like that, just supporting things like that. That skate park will change that whole community.
Right.
So I just go, well, we just need to do more of that.
Okay, Mongo. Why is it bad to skate Mongo?
Mongo. It's a style thing. You know, if I were to say, like, technically, is it bad? No. If you learn how to skateboard and you're pushing Mongo, who cares? You're learning how to skateboard. Like, let's get over it. But there's a huge stigma. And it's one of those things of like, oh, you're going to be a poser. You're going to be made fun of. You're going to be ridiculed for your entire life. No. Like, the only reason it limits you is, like, let's say you're skating a set of stairs and there's very little run up. Then, like, you're pushing with your front foot. Then you have to put your front foot on, then readjust your back foot. That's it. We're talking seconds. So if you push not Mongo, you have your front foot on the board, then you're pushing, and then you put your back foot on. You don't have to readjust your front foot. But if you're pushing Mongo, there's a period of adjustment, but it's literally like that fast. But it doesn't look cool. It definitely doesn't look cool. And anyone can attest to that, you know, but as a new skateboarder, who cares? The kids learn how to skate. He's pushing Mongo. He can, another thing about it is you can also learn to push switch better if you learn to push Mongo,
Oh,
because you're pushing with the other foot.
right.
And some of the best skaters learn to skate Mongo. Hate to say it, Chris Cole, he learned Mongo. When he started skateboarding, he was Mongo.
And then eventually he could do it all.
Yeah, and then eventually he had to change. Like, if you're gonna have a professional career, you cannot push Mongo. Like, that's just part of it.
Look, now someone's gonna do it just because you said you can't.
Please do. Please, 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 please. Like Andy Anderson with his professional skateboard career wearing a helmet. Huge controversy, blah, blah, blah. You know, the skateboard companies, skateboard magazines going, we're not going to print a photo with a guy in a helmet.
No shit.
100%. Yeah.
I go to the skate park and I see people without helmets and I just think you're a fucking ding dong.
Yeah, actually. So Andy Anderson, he's starting, you know, he went through, I made a documentary with him. Hopefully I finish it. But I am mid a documentary with Andy Anderson about his run to the Olympics, which happened in 2021 and now it's 2022 and I'm not done with the freaking documentary. One of my thousands of projects I work on all the time.
This dude's cool as shit.
Andy Anderson, he's the best.
Yeah, what
He's
a
the
handsome
greatest.
kid.
Yeah, and so he, you know, just to give you like an idea, like he would go on skate trips with the skateboard team, and the skate team would take his helmet every single day and piss in it, do anything they could possibly do to try and get him to take the helmet off. So obviously if they pissed in it, he's not going to wear the helmet. So then he would go to Army surplus store and get any kind of thing that would substitute as a helmet and wear that. That's Andy Anderson's story.
Did
Amazing.
is there more to it than that? Did he make some sort of promise to his mom and dad that if they let him skate, he'd always wear a helmet his whole life, and he's standing by it?
I think that it was his decision to wear the helmet, and it wasn't really a promise to anybody, not that I know of. And I think he would have brought that up. I interviewed him for this documentary for probably 8 hours.
Yeah.
Nothing like that ever came up, but it was more like it was his own personal integrity. And he wasn't going to change himself because others wanted him to change.
Right.
You know, there's this kid that I follow on Instagram. Probably shouldn't even say the kid's name, but he's been wearing a helmet and doing really crazy stuff. And then just recently I go, whoa, there he goes. Backlip the 13 stair handrail, no helmet. And I go, he got into it. He got into the industry far enough where they said, from here forward, you are no longer allowed to wear a helmet. And Andy talks about this too.
Are you really telling me that someone would say that from the industry?
What do you mean? Am I telling you that? That is a beyond like
I
real.
can't even believe that.
Yeah, welcome
I would
to
beat someone's
skateboarding.
ass if they told my kid that.
That is.
I would go over to whatever skateboard company, XY zones, whatever you name it.
Yeah.
I'll go over to your house and I will knock on your door and I'll beat you in front of your wife if I heard you tell my kid not to wear a helmet. It's fucking asinine. There's nothing wrong with a helmet.
There
They
is
look cool.
absolutely nothing wrong with a helmet. And Andy started a helmet company. We helped him launch it.
Yeah,
and it's
cool.
the helmets are really cool. They are cool, and that's his thing. He's like wanted to make a cool helmet, and he did.
Aaron, I'm 50, and one of the only times in my life that I felt like an adult, I didn't even feel like an adult at my kid's birth as my wife popped him out on the living room floor. But I was at the skate park at this little tiny, crazy, cute, adorable, amazing skate park in Aptos, California. I think it's called, I forget what it's called, but
Gotta go there.
It's
had one.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
It's like it's across the street from an ice cream place called Mary Ann's, and there's the New Brighton one there that you probably have been to at some point in your life. They have the half pipe and then they have that flat pad, but this thing has everything. I'll text you a picture tomorrow. And I was there, and there's a drop in. It's like a 9-foot drop in to this, and it's a tiny park. And in the middle of the drop in, if you don't avoid it, I don't know what it's called, but there's this thing that looks like a giant nipple.
Yeah. I think it is called a nipple.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
And the sun, that part of the skate park doesn't get sun in the morning, so it's moist there. And this kid drops in, and I'm the only parent there, and there's like 10 kids there, and then my kids, and all the kids are older than my kids. And he drops in, and he slips, and he hits his head, back of his head on the nipple.
Oh, worst case scenario.
Yeah, and it feels like the skate park shakes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like I hear it like donk.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at him and I'm waiting for like someone to run down there and help him, and no one's doing shit.
Right.
And I'm just looking at him, and I feel like my tear ducts turn on, and I feel like my dad me like turning on. I'm like, who is this turning? And I hear him go, I can't see. And that's it. I just yelled, stop everybody. And I jumped down into the bowl or to that area. And I stood him up and I said, hey dude, you're fine. And I just talked to him. I go, you know, where do you live? What's your name? Get him out of the park. Like he sits there. I'm like, do you want me to call your mom? And I actually felt like an adult. And there's like, that's rare for me.
Right.
I'm usually just a goofball. And then 15 minutes later, I look over and he gets on his bike and he puts his skateboard in his handlebars and he rides off, but no helmet.
Right.
That could be with him for like when he's 60, he could have a stroke from that hit.
Ooh, yes. Yeah.
Like
there are some definitely very, very gnarly stories. There was somebody that reached out to me, wanted to tell his story on my channel. And I forget exactly what occurred to him, but it was some really, really bad brain injury type stuff.
That a helmet would have saved.
Completely would have saved him. Yeah, and
Right.
he wanted to this is a thing in skateboarding. He wanted to tell his story, but he was like, I will be ridiculed literally out of the skateboard industry for the rest of my life for telling my story about how helmets help people. And then this is like 10, 15 years after all of this scenario that he just like had just completely shut himself off from skateboarding. And he reached out to me and said, I want to tell my story. I said, please, you got to come down here. We can make this great video. And, you know, maybe someday we can actually make that happen. But it's just such a really to show skateboarding and how it is.
Okay, I'll reach out to Andy.
Yeah, get Andy Anderson. He's the bomb.
Okay. It's a shame. I had no idea I had no idea the helmet was that frowned upon.
Yeah, that's even like a little that's like a microcosm in the skateboard world. You know, it's very, very hardcore. Like the attitude is like, oh, if there's anything that makes it safer, that is going to make you weak. You know, we use a different word that they would use, but, you know,
yeah,
we're not trying to, you know, Andy talks about that as well. He's like, anything that takes away the danger. That's why freestyle skateboarding actually talks about this in his documentary. Freestyle skateboarding kind of get pushed out of skateboarding because it's not dangerous.
What's freestyle? Where you're just on a slab of concrete and you do your tricks, like the Rodney Mullen stuff?
Exactly. Early Rodney Mullen, very small board. And he's like, the obstacle is the board. So you're flipping it up on its side, making it do all these spins, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, there's no danger in that. The furthest you can fall is just falling to the ground. But, you know, it's not going down a 15 stair or up a huge mega ramp that's 30 feet tall, which, you know, is cool in its own sense. But yes, freestyle is making a comeback. Some people say that I'm helping that comeback, and I like to think that I am.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's the stuff that boys and girls are doing now. Another example is there's these two really famous skateboarders, a brother and sister. I can't remember their names. Everyone knows
Ocean and Sky Brown.
Yes.
How did I instantly know that?
And I
Shout out
see
Sky Brown.
I see them skating without helmets and then eating ice cream. And I'm like, how about you put a helmet on and don't eat ice cream? I don't.
They do wear helmets though. She does.
When they're doing some crazy shit, they do.
Yeah, you're right.
But I see them. Yeah. And she had a really bad accident, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I
think she had a really bad accident where she was jumping from one ramp to another or something, or she slipped into the middle of a ramp or came off a big steep ramp. And she was wearing a helmet, I think, when that happened. But
yeah,
it's like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you know, you could say Rodney got ridiculed for freestyle, then he redefined street skating. Yeah, he literally lost his professional. Rodney has a great if you get a chance to watch any Rodney Mullen interviews or his TED Talks are incredible. Talks about it. He lost his professional skateboard and then he went, oh, I'm going to take this to the streets and do these freestyle tricks in the street. And it's the greatest thing ever.
I show you
Yeah. And I don't wear a helmet when I'm skateboarding either. I'm 39.
Shame on you.
And I don't wear a helmet. And
Did your mom and dad say anything to you?
like now or back then?
Now.
No.
How about your wife?
Yeah, no, not really. What's interesting to me is I feel like, and maybe this is just a bad excuse. Yeah, like Rodney Mullen.
Yeah. So a couple months ago, I got to hang out with Rodney for like 2 hours.
No way.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Just sitting at a table, just me and him. He was great. It's probably the third time I got to hang with them, but this time it was like, well, hey, when we were done, Aaron.
Yeah.
This is just straight braggery.
Yeah.
Just grab my crotch when I say this. When we're done, he's like, "Can I have your phone number?" Like, you could have my phone.
Yeah, he's such a good guy, such a beautiful soul.
Have you had a chance to talk with him?
Very little.
Yeah, it's a trip, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's special for sure.
Very, very, very much so. A true genius.
Genius.
Yeah, he really is.
Genius.
Yeah,
absolute
there's a
genius.
few like utter geniuses in this world, and he's one of them.
Okay, so back to let's talk about why you don't wear a helmet. What the hell?
Yeah,
I'm judging the shit out of you. Go.
Yeah, that's okay. It's good. Well, what I was gonna say, maybe this is just a bad excuse, but I feel like so sometimes I go to a park and they say, "Oh, you have to wear a helmet," and then I go, "Okay, I'll wear a helmet," and then I'm skating, and maybe it's just getting used to it, right? But I feel more at risk of getting injured with the helmet because I've been skateboarding for so many years, and it sort of throws off the weight balance. Okay. But I could just get used to that weight balance because I got a vert ramp in my skate park now, thanks to my vert skater, JD Sanchez. Shout out JD. Yeah, it's a huge ramp. It's utterly terrifying. And I did a series on there. And every time I skated that, the rule is no helmet, no ramp. You can't skate the ramp without a helmet. So I wore a helmet on there and knee pads and elbow pads, everything, because that's just terrifying to me. But if I'm going to skate street, which I've been skating for 29 years, it's more terrifying for me to wear a helmet. Maybe it shouldn't be.
Oh, yeah. I did see you wearing a helmet in that video where you hurt your wrist.
Yeah.
You were all suited up. Totally. Which one of these is JD Sanchez?
The top one.
This kid?
Yeah. Check him out. I think he just turned 13. Let's go, JD. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Peep that one right there. Yeah,
in the middle?
Yeah.
This is at your facility?
No. This is a new trick he learned. I'll show you my facility though. Ooh, what in the heck? I don't even know what that is. He like finger flipped it around the back, caught it with the other hand. Okay, let's go to another post.
How do you meet a kid like this? How did you do? I stay on this Instagram account?
Yeah, stay on this Instagram and go down. So that's my facility, but the street side. But let's go. Oh, that right there to the right. One to the right. Yeah, that. This is my ramp. My ramp. Built it with my own hands. Actually, JD's dad built it. Shout out, Danny. You're the best. That's my ramp.
This isn't Oakland, California?
Yeah, it's actually in San Leandro. Super close to Oakland. But yeah, you want to come skate the ramp. Tuesday nights, vert night. Look at that kickflip Indy. Double kickflip Indy. 540.
Wow. Yeah,
he's too good. Back-to-back 540.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to do a revert mid the ramp. JD, you need to calm down. He just went to Argentina and skated in the World Championship of Vert. And he is 13 years old and he placed 11th. And that's not 11th for 13-year-olds. That's 11th for the whole everybody.
Is this it?
Must be. Yeah. What does it say in the thing?
It says my heat qualifier.
Yeah. There you go.
God. Oh, man. My wife can't see this stuff.
Why? It's good.
My kids can't see this stuff, and then my wife will have a heart attack. I got to keep my wife. How do you meet a kid like this? How does a kid like this and Aaron Cairo meet up?
Yeah, we make random videos. We make so many videos. We do a daily video. So we were making a video at a vert ramp, and my skate team was there, and JD was there. Actually, JD's story is also really incredible. Because I skated a lot at the Fremont Skate Park. We've made a ton of videos there, and I met him when he was probably 6. And I have these old videos on my channel that are still there. And I taught this kid how to do a frontside 180 when he was 6. And then now he's 13 doing 540s on a vert ramp. And I just was like, I remember when I taught you to do a front 180? I bet you couldn't 540 if I didn't teach you a front 180.
Hey, did you guys have like a 5-year gap where you didn't see each other, or no, you would keep seeing each other at the skate park?
Every now and then I would see him, but there was like a big gap where I didn't see him. Yeah, it was probably 2 or 3 years. And then it would just random. And then he said to me, "You taught me how to 180." And I was like, "What?" And then okay, you're right. I taught you how to 180. Not only did I teach you how to 180, I made a whole video about it, which I love. I just love that. It's still there on YouTube and people can really see. And that's sort of a testament that, what I'm doing, it works.
Are both your parents still alive?
Yes.
And your dad had
Thank God.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks.
And your dad had a bout with cancer.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yes.
What kind what kind of effect did that have on your life?
Yeah. So the first time it was
a little shift here from JD to cancer.
Straight from JD,
yes.
13 into it's cancer. Yeah, he had Hodgkin's lymphoma. So my dad, when we were growing up, we would make jokes about my dad. We would say, his name is Jeff, and my friends were all terrified of Jeff. My dad is like a mountain man. He's, he instilled into me a very, very hard work ethic. Like, you do it yourself, you work hard, you make it go right. You are your own person, and that's just what it is. And the world can be a rough place, and you're going to make the best of it. Type of a viewpoint, which at the time I hated him for it, but now I love him for it. Probably wouldn't be anywhere without that viewpoint. And he got.
Was he a military man? Was he a military man?
No, he's not. But his father was.
Okay.
So I think that sort of came down from his father. His father was a military man.
Which would have been World War II. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So my dad got Hodgkin's lymphoma. And when he told me, it was like a very, I don't know. I didn't really know how to feel about it. Like thinking like, man, I think my dad might pass away. And then I remembered, nothing can kill my dad. Literally nothing. He's been in helicopter crashes.
Wow.
Before, so my dad, he works in seismic. He's what they call a bird dog, and he goes and he watches over a group of people that are putting charges into the ground. It used to be dynamite. I don't know what they do now. I'm sure it's not dynamite anymore. And then they map the underneath the surface. So he would go to Alaska on these wild trips, and he's been in like literal helicopter crashes. And then I remembered, if a helicopter crash can't kill him, cancer isn't gonna either. But yeah, I think it was literally stage 4, which is pretty gnarly.
Very.
Yeah, very gnarly cancer. And then he just beat it. I was like, what the hell?
Did he go through all the traditional treatments?
Yeah, he did. He did chemo. And he lives in Montana. I'm from Montana. He still lives there. Yeah. And he beat it. And then get this. And then he has to go to the doctor every 6 months. And so on one of his check-ins, they said, there's something going on with your bladder. We're going to check it out. And they said,
There's something going on with my bladder.
Yeah. So then he had bladder cancer. And my mom said, how does he have bladder cancer? And they said, oh, actually, I don't know. They didn't really tell you this, but when you do chemo, the radiation can cause cancer. So the cancer treatment from the earlier cancer gave him bladder cancer. That's what the doctor told my mom. You can imagine my mom wanted to punch this guy in the face. She was super pissed. And I just, man. So then my dad had bladder cancer, and then he beat that too. Now he's total cancer free. He's just his 9 lives,
Yeah.
amazing. So
Look, Rodney
yeah.
Mullen says Aaron Cairo is also a genius.
That is not Rodney Mullen. We're doing our best out here. We're trying every day.
What is it seems like you're at a I was gonna say transition, but maybe rebirth. But with some point with Braille, you are you said in the in that video, video that's already over 1 million views. I'm gonna go back to instructional content, progressions, things of that nature. What do you know what the next 2 years look like for you? 3 years, 6 months?
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, the rear view mirror, the hindsight is always 2020. It's very easy to look back and very hard to look forward. But my plan is to sort of take back. Well, I've already taken back, the CEO position. I'm 100% owner of Braille Skateboarding. I always have been, but I did have a CEO hired. So now I'm going to be the CEO. I'm going to be running things very closely. And I haven't even really posted that many tutorials yet. I've just been doing the weird. So the whole strategy is I do weird videos specifically. And when I say weird videos, that means I made pizza cutter wheels. I made cement block shoes. And I'm getting these ideas from the audience. So get back into communication.
Yeah. What a great series. What was that series? You Make It, We'll Write It.
You Make It, We Skate It. Yeah.
That's so awesome, dude.
Yeah. So people make us random weird boards, but the whole strategy there is that people that are not necessarily interested in skateboarding at all or never would see one of these videos. And then the idea is that they see us having fun and they go, maybe I want to learn how to skate. And then they find the tutorials and the rest is history.
Right.
That's my strategy. So my strategy is to do that better than I ever have before, make better tutorials. And it's very geared around this app, which I'm very dying to get it finished. I'm having a lot of problems with coders. I just lost I just lost a coder who's been working on the app for years. I lost him to Amazon. Shout out Amazon. And and then I just got a new one. A friend.
Can't you get some coders in the Ukraine? I'm joking, not joking.
Yeah, it's a good question. I wish I had thought of that earlier because I'm so in debt to this app. It is
because they get that they got like coders there who are like starved for work.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They just run around and code from running from bombs.
They just. Oh my gosh. I actually have a Ukrainian who runs my Braille Russia channel. And when that whole thing hit, that was pretty wild. I probably shouldn't talk too much about it.
So he doesn't get nabbed.
Yeah, but it was pretty wild. Very, very wild. Now he's in a total different country, safe, thank God. And he's super good dude. Braille Russia. Amazing.
How many employees do you have?
I had 30 and now we're cutting it back. So now I think at this moment in time, I'm down to around 21.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I know that's hard. I know that's hard, but I know it feels good.
Yeah. It's a lot of things I could say about it. It's tough. And it's also very tough because a lot of people are, and I hire my friends. I went through that whole thing of hiring my friends. And then at some point you have to have this conversation like, hey, this is like a real job. I'm really sorry, but like when you come, you need to track your hours.
Right.
Like, and when you're tracking your hours, that means you need to be doing some sort of work situation, and YouTube itself is also changing. The algorithms, the platforms themselves are also changing. TikTok came in and that changed the whole system. So that also is that made it very difficult because if I have, 5.7 million YouTube subscribers, but sometimes I do a video that gets 20,000 views. How is that even physically possible? Well, it is now because, people's attention are going to shorts and to TikTok and various other things. So as a business owner, that is something that's very, it has to be very skillfully handled.
Right.
And I would love to just keep every single employee I've ever had and make it all work. And I hope that I can, but yeah. So we're going to have to go through in the next probably 6 months, a whole sort of restructure.
Yeah.
And then that's going to be to do those things that I was saying, weird boards, tutorials better than I ever have before. And hopefully I'm building an app that really, really gives good support. Part of the app is going to be that the kid can send in his video and get coaching.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he goes, I'm working on my Ollie, and here I'm uploading my video, and then I'm sending that to you. And within 24 hours, he gets an instant answer from a professional saying, here's what you need to do. Move your foot in this direction, change that, work on this for 15 minutes and send me a new video. Like that.
How did you know to give stuff away for free? When Greg Glassman started CrossFit, he started giving everything away for free, filming all the seminars, and the people over the hill told him he was batshit crazy. How did you know? And did people tell you were crazy giving it away free?
Yeah, they do, and they still do. In fact, that's a sort of a thing I went through just recently. How did I know? That's a good question. I think when you're building a business, it's very heavily reliant upon the amount of attention that you get. And so if you're giving away things for free, you do get more attention. And if you're just saying, okay, I make this video series, I'm going to put it here and you have to pay for it. So the thing that I'm talking about, this app, that will be a paid membership. There's no other way around it because they have to pay the coaches.
Well, that's
Right.
what was cool. Greg gave everything away online, the exact video of the seminar.
Yeah.
And yet people still paid $1,000 to take it in person and selling out 30 a week all over the world. And it was just like, yeah, see how that works?
Yeah.
And he would even say, yeah, and it worked. And that's basically what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You have them all free on YouTube. It's like for me, I can watch shit for free on YouTube. I still buy it on Apple. I could watch it over at Netflix. I still buy it on Apple. I mean, it's like people like, yeah, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. There is that part of it too. So yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah. So I kind of go, you can learn every trick and every tutorial I've ever made. I probably have the actual best tutorials. The tutorials on YouTube are very, very good. But then when you jump into something like this, it's more structured. That's the only thing I go like, it's a little better for learning because it's structured. And on YouTube, you go like, oh, I'm learning how to do an Ollie. And the next thing I've been on cat videos for 5 hours or whatever.
Right.
It gets random. So I'm just really banking on this being like a really good service, like an actual, real, exchangeable, very good product. And so far it hasn't been. And that's one of the things where I go like, yeah, I did the toys in Target. That was whatever it was. And then I've been doing this app, and it's been the part of my business that's been losing money the most because of paying all the coders and everything. But, a lot of things start like that. And then you go 20 years later, you're lucky you did it or glad you did it. Because on social media, at the end of the day, these guys change their mind and everything can change within an instant. All monetization on YouTube could go away overnight tomorrow. And then you literally have no business. So the strategy right now is to build my own thing, which people can then use. And it's a good service.
Worse, they could charge us to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
They just completely flipped the script.
Exactly.
I love that Elon is going to charge for blue check marks. I just love this. Just the case. Like, it's not a big, I don't love it for any political reason or anything. I just like to see, like, people use the popcorn emoji when a fight starts in the comments. I just want to be like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun to watch how this unfolds over here.
I love it too. Elon Musk is one of the people that I studied. I read the book about him. I listened to the book. I read some of his business moves and the things that he did. And I think it's super fascinating. And if you follow the story of Tesla, I mean, there's a lot of people that say, oh, this, that, the other thing. But You know, he went up against giants, literal giants. And we're talking about in an industry where people would have you literally killed. And he built this massive car company.
Largest U.S. car company in the world.
Yeah. And people
Right?
can say, oh, he's this, that, or the other thing. But dude, he did that. He
And they
really
kept
did.
and they keep him out. They tried to keep him out of the car lot business and everything. Man, they fucked with him, right?
Yes. And that's just another industry. And I get fucked with all the time too. All the time. Lots of crazy, wild things happen. And I just go, this is just another person in the industry that doesn't want me to succeed. And we'll keep it pushing.
Has anyone tried to buy you?
No. I have had some. Yeah. Well, I've had it been brought up to me, you know, and I think it gets brought up and then I'm just very much like, no, I'm not going to do that. So just don't even bother. I'm so very like cut it off right at the entrance of any question about that. You know,
Are you offended when people ask you, like they're asking to buy your girlfriend or your baby from you?
No, but it's, how do I describe it? It is kind of, I feel like if I were to sell Braille and then it goes onto some skateboard company and it's just another company in the mix of what they're doing, it's kind of like me giving up on my goal. And maybe someday I will do that, you know, maybe someday I will give up on my goal, but probably not. Like,
Yeah.
I literally think like, you know, what do you get excited about when you wake up in the morning? Like, I wake up in the morning and I don't have this thing to get excited about. What am I going to do?
Right.
I'm sure I would channel that creative energy into something else, but I don't know. I really like having it there and I really like creating on that. And I like the idea of, oh, I'm going to have all these different channels and all these different languages and help people all over the world, blah, blah, blah. We have these incredible success stories like the kid in Africa and others, you know. People say, we just did a little tour around the US and it's so cool to go to all these different places. And a lot of people
drive that tour or did you fly?
Drive.
Oh, that's dope.
RV. Yeah, it was so fun. It was incredibly fun. I was like, oh, we have all these skaters. They might not get along. There's going to be all these fights. No, we got in an RV, packed 10 people in there. The RV doesn't even fit 10.
Yeah.
We slept in tents, and some people that were too scared to sleep in tents, I won't name names, Gabe Cruz, slept in the RV. And we went skate park to skate park to skate park. And it was so cool because you get there and then people say, oh, I was going through this deep depression. I watched your videos, totally pulled me out of it, started skateboarding, really changed my life around.
So cool.
All these stories like that, you know, so I can have somebody shit on me and tell me I'm a ruined skateboarding all day long. And if I hear some stories like that, I just go, I don't care what you think. Doesn't matter. I'm going to keep going.
Dude, those are ding dongs.
Yeah.
By the way, I've never heard any of that. I mean, my kids, maybe my kids are older, but my kids are 5 and 8.
Yeah.
I can put Braille on and they'll watch it all day.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about my kids seeing anything that's like, it's the cleanest thing in their life.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that we did that on purpose so that parents could do that. And then because that brings more people into skateboarding, and some of the other skateboard channels, you know, they're going to have drinking and drugs and profanity and all kinds of stuff.
And my kids already see that at the skate park, and I don't have a problem with that. Like, like I have a problem with bringing glass out into the skate park, but like if those kids want to smoke weed at the skate park and my kids smell, like I actually don't care. But I'm not going out of my way. I'm not putting stuff on TV for them to see.
Right.
That's part of the culture.
Yeah, and it gets into this thing of like, oh, you're a skateboarder, oh, you have to do drugs. You know, and someone
just told me that recently. They said that the biggest gateway drug that they know is skateboarding. I'm like, whoa. I couldn't even, they kind of got me. It was one of my listeners.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
But now, you know, back in the day, like let's go back when I was here trying to become a professional skateboarder. It was like you got hurt. You were just, what were you going to do? You're going to drink and you're going to do a bunch of drugs. But now, skateboarding's in the Olympics. Skateboarding levels have really increased. You cannot do that. You get hurt, you're in the gym, you're working out, you're doing CrossFit, you're doing physical therapy, you're seeing the doctor every day. you cannot add drugs into the mix of that and still survive. Like this is where I think some of these things are really good. I'm very anti-drug. A lot of people think I do smoke weed, etc. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any drugs. And I'm not going to sit there and tell everybody else that they can't either. People are going to live their own lives. But my strategy is just to
they're not good for you, Aaron.
Yeah, that's true.
They're harmful for you. Burning
Right.
any object and inhaling the fumes, injecting drugs into your veins, popping pills. These things are all harmful to you.
Right.
So
Right. But there a lot of people think, oh, marijuana makes you a better skateboarder. That's definitely a thing as well. I wanted to do a whole documentary, and maybe I still will. I met this girl who is a physical therapist, and she has all these statistical analysis data of what marijuana does to the system and how it reacts specifically for athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And I should make this documentary at some point and interview a bunch of people, because there's also a lot of professional skateboarders that lost their career to drugs. Nobody talks about it. Not really. Well, some people do nowadays.
The Christian Hosoi documentary is amazing.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I have to watch that.
That old ass one, you haven't seen that?
No, I have to see
Oh
it.
my God, Aaron, you have to see it. That's the whole story.
I just recently met him, and he is just such a beautiful person as well. I love him.
He's full blown born again now, right?
Yes.
like,
He came to
been
the Braille house and did a video with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
dude.
wasn't there when he did, but then I met him later. And
Where
I
were
was
you?
just
You were
like,
out gallivanting with Elon Musk?
Yeah, probably. And then I went to Do Tour, and I just was randomly walking into the hotel. It's probably midnight, and Christian Hosoi is sitting in the lobby. And then I go, I'm gonna go say hi to Christian Hosoi. Why not? And then he's like, oh, you're from the Braille. Oh, I went to your place. But it was so funny. My guys were telling me. So we do all the weird boards. He literally walked in, and they were like, hey, Christian, we're gonna do this. And he goes, what is this? And then he's like, oh, this is a weird board. And he goes, no, like, what is this? And then they were like, they're like, oh, we do this like YouTube channel, and we have this skate park, blah, blah. And he was just like, so like, what in the world is going on here? We're like so oddball.
Are people disappointed if they come to skate at Braille and they don't get this, especially a huge name in the sport like that, and they don't get to skate with you?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think so. I think sometimes
I would be bummed if I came there and I didn't see you. I'd be like, where is
he? Yeah. Well, you have to come up. You're not too far away, right?
No, I'm close to you.
Yeah. You'll have to make a trip.
I'm in Santa Cruz. I'll time it when you're there.
Yeah. You got to hit me on the text and time it when I'm there, because I'm not always there. And a lot of times when I am there, we're just like very hardcore filming. You know, we have a schedule, and it's a thing. Daily videos.
Do you publish same time every day? Live at Braille, 5 p.m.?
10 a.m. every day.
10 a.m. every morning.
Mm-hmm.
A video goes up.
Yeah. Probably for a very long time. 10 years, maybe. I don't know. I should look. Actually, I should look. We have never faltered from that. And a lot of people are telling us I should, because my views have been dropping, and they're saying, oh, you got to not do daily. I don't know if that's a lie or not. I'll have to, when I reinvent the wheel here in the next 6 months, I'll give some things a shot.
Oh shit, man.
Experiment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends, any other YouTubers like this cadre of guys you hang out with, the 1 million to 20 million group that you're probably friends with? Or
Yeah, I do.
And you guys, did you guys brainstorm that stuff?
We do all the time. Yeah. It's very interesting, because right now it's like, you know who Dude Perfect is? The huge, massive YouTube channel. They do trick shots, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
They have probably 100 million subs or something close. Crazy. Even their views have been dropping. I literally just go, okay, there are some channels that are growing, but a good amount of people have been dropping. And TikTok, I don't know if you know this, it was huge news, but the stat that everybody is trying to get is the watch time. So TikTok just took over YouTube in watch time. Not just, happened probably a year and a half ago. year and a half ago. Yeah, huge thing. Yeah, Dude Perfect. What do they got there? 60
million.
60 million subscribers.
Yeah, 58.4. Wow.
Yeah, and their views have actually also been dropping. So I look at all channels, skateboarding related, not skateboarding related, and look at what they're doing, how they're doing it, and what's working, what's not working. And it's very interesting. I just love that. I love statistical analysis. I love just the raw, hardcore numbers of it.
I avoid TikTok like the plague.
Yeah, I probably should too. But recently I've been on there. It's tough. Tough.
Well, maybe it's good for you. Maybe it's good for your business. Yeah, it probably is amazing for your business. It's interesting that those don't monetize as like the people, at least from my purview where I stand, a million TikTok. This is really,
throw out some numbers.
Sweeping generalization.
Yeah.
But a million YouTube, TikTok followers is the equivalent to a sponsor to 100,000 Instagram followers. Now that's just a big sweeping generalization, but I just don't get the impression that they think that those followers convert the way Instagram followers are. But maybe is that how you see it too? There's not as much of a premium on them.
Yeah. Well, it's the raw numbers.
Right. Right.
So I haven't really tested enough to be able to just give purely raw numbers from my own channels,
Right.
but I do.
Do you value your Instagram followers more than your TikTok followers?
Not really.
People,
The mindset that I have, honestly, is what I
me.
was saying earlier is attention is attention.
Right.
So if you're getting attention, that's good. And just keep going on that no matter what. Kind of like, the CrossFit, he's going to give it away all for free.
Right.
And at some point that's going to come back to him some way, somehow. So if I think I have like 880,000 on TikTok, and on Instagram I have like 980,000. Do I value the TikTok or value the Instagram more than TikTok? No. But if we're posting a video, I could take the same video, post it on Instagram, and it'll do maybe 200,000 views. I could post it on TikTok and it might do 20,000 views. But then a different video, vice versa, TikTok might do 2 million views and Instagram might do 100,000 views. So what it really comes down to at the end of the day is cold, hard statistics of just, you got that many people to view it.
Right.
And that was that much attention. And that's good.
Right.
But it is a very tough thing because on YouTube, if I get 1 million views, I make money. Right. And if I get 1 million views on TikTok, I make nothing.
What about Facebook? Have they invited you to play with their what are they called? Their reels?
Yeah, we do that too. Yeah. Facebook, Instagram reels. I mean, Instagram reels was paying for about 2 months, and now they've made it so I think some people worked the system a little bit and got a good, healthy paycheck. I know some of those people, very well done. And now it's like, oh, if you want to make $1,000, you have to get like 12 billion.
Right.
They just ramped it up so fast. And it's kind of, we do make money on Instagram. We do make some money on TikTok. We do make some money on Facebook. We make the vast majority of money on long form YouTube.
Yeah.
And now we're doing shorts on YouTube. And as of January 1st, shorts on YouTube are set to monetize. Do I think that monetization is going to be good? I really, really, really hope so. And I want to think so. I have my doubts. We'll see.
You're going to mix the shorts with your current station?
Already are.
Already
okay.
are.
Yeah.
Oh, and now they have all these different tabs.
Yeah. It's new. They just recently did that.
Yeah, that shit scares the shit out of me. But people start
Super.
DMing me. They're like, where's this video? Where's that? I'm like, they're there. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's going to be, I feel like the same thing that occurred when the internet first occurred is sort of occurring again. Like there's
heavy.
It's maybe not that heavy, but it's pretty heavy. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of changes occurring in the next couple of years. And apparently we're going into some kind of a financial crisis.
You mean because they printed $3 trillion in the last couple of years?
Yeah, and there's some like inflation occurring and the economy is, doing what it's doing. It's going to be an interesting road. Your hindsight is 2020. What's ahead of you, you're not totally sure. So really be very, very smart and talented in everything you do and work your ass off.
Yeah, work your ass off. And don't do drugs.
Yeah, and don't
They slow
do
you down.
drugs.
It's like tying an anchor to you.
Yeah. If you're trying to be a professional skateboarder, you're out there and you're 14 years old and you're starting to smoke weed and you think it's going to make you better, trust me, it's not.
I always wish that someone would have told me this. The thing about smoking cigarettes and doing drugs is it only has two endings. You have to quit, which is so hard,
Yeah.
or it kills you. Those are the two roads it goes down. I wish someone would have told me that before I ever smoked my first cigarette. Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
No, I never did. My wife did very heavily.
Nicotine
and then I tried
savage,
to get her. Oh,
dude.
it's so gnarly. I tried to get my wife to quit, and she was so tough on me. That one, I remember, I'll never forget it. I
Dude,
literally
it's like heroin,
forced her
dude.
to smoke. I was like, you got to smoke. And then she did. And then she literally took one drag of a cigarette and she goes, oh my God, I feel so much better. But she was literally going insane.
Yes. You have physical withdrawals. You need to be like, it took me a shitload of efforts to try. But once I just basically said, hey, I need to be left alone for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And I would be like twitching.
My wife did a very similar thing. I literally thought she was never going to quit in her whole life. And then she did. She just literally quit. And I said, wow, fuck, is well done. I've never been so proud of you. Or maybe I have, but I was really proud of her.
Have your mom and dad told you that they're blown away? What's your brother think about what you're doing?
Yeah, he thinks it's awesome. So the actual reason I did the tour was to go back to my hometown. So when I was 18, I got a skate park built in Red Lodge, Montana.
You got that built when you were 18?
Yeah. It wasn't the park that's there now, but it was just a slab of concrete, had a bench and a flat bar. In fact, they sent the bench to me and I need to find it.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I got the park built. I went to city council. I did a whole presentation. I asked city council for $25,000. Then I wrote a grant, got another $10,000. It was in the city paper. And then some 10, 15 years later, the park was all run down. It was wood ramps. It was crap. And then I met somebody randomly from Missoula, and he said, hey, I work with Montana Skate Park Association. And I said, I've been thinking we need to redo this Red Lodge Park. And then got hooked up with this guy named Kevin Bonk, a super rad dude from Red Lodge, who's on the city council. And we raised $200,000.
Wow.
And we got this park built right here. And the reason and then it
That's
got
how
built.
much that park cost? That's
Yeah.
it? 200,000? That seems affordable.
$200,000. Yeah, it is affordable. I donated.
Dude, look at that
50.
neighborhood. Those homes are beautiful.
You think? Yeah, go back. This is where I grew up.
I can't control this thing. Oh, maybe I can. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very nice little community. I love growing up. This is where I grew up, Red Lodge, Montana. This town has 2,000 people. It's a very small town.
God, and that's a nice park.
This company called Evergreen that is just going around Montana and building these awesome skate parks thanks to this other organization called Montana Pool Service. Shout out Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam. He donates a lot of money and he gets a lot of skate parks built in Montana. So Montana has some unbelievable parks.
I think I've heard that story. Okay.
Yeah. So Jeff donated 50. I donated 50, and then we raised another 100, and we got this park built. And so I went back to my hometown and brought my whole team there, and we did a little sort of meet and greet, we call it. So a bunch of kids come out and we skate the park with them, and my dad was there. Yeah, my dad was very proud of me. I think he was trying to hold back the tears, kind of proud.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That's an adorable park. Did you have input in the design?
Yes.
That little bowl in the center is trick.
Yeah. It's amazing. We got some really good shots there. If we ever edit this video, we need to.
So Montana, huh? So if I was going to do something one year with my kids, it'd be like drive to Montana and try to tour all the skate parks there.
Yes. Do it and go camping and take them fishing. Montana is Have you been to Montana?
I have.
It's beautiful, and you got to hit Yellowstone National Park on your way.
Yeah, it truly is beautiful. Idaho. You ever think about moving that back out there? Take your wife to Idaho, Montana?
Yeah, I have. And I think like it's sort of like therapeutic to go there, but I think living there, I don't know, tough.
Well, I'll tell you what living in
Slow.
Oakland will do now that I'm not afraid to offend you since I got everything I need from you.
Yeah.
I grew up, I was born in Oakland, California.
Yeah.
And I was in Berkeley, and I bought a home in Berkeley, and I lived in Berkeley for a bunch of time. And then I ended up moving down here. And about 6 months into the pandemic, I went up to Berkeley.
Yeah. And what was it like?
Craziest motherfuckers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Everyone's outside with masks on, standing. Well, I went to the park. We were the only, I saw 5,000 people that day. We were the only people without masks. Batshit insanity. The evil looks people gave each other. The shit people would say, keep your kids away. Don't let your kids get close to us. Dude, we're in fucking Tilden Park. I seriously felt like I was in a zombie movie, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what has happened up here?
Yes.
What did you guys see? I'm only 70 miles down the road from you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Santa Cruz was pretty out there too.
Yeah.
But what did you see? It was so sad. These smart people.
Yeah. It's the news. It's the news. They bought into it.
I was so sad for them.
Yeah.
It was, and I told my wife, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad we rent this house out and we don't live here. Like, what if we would have been here with these? I seriously couldn't believe it. I seriously couldn't believe it. I was in, Tilden Park, right?
I don't know where that is, but I can get the concept of it.
It's big. It's the Berkeley Hills, the Oakland Hills.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to go to Tilden Park. It's right in your backyard. You got to go up there.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. It's just, they got all sorts
in there. I just don't even know the name.
Tilden Park, yeah. And they make those crazy skateboarding videos there where the guys are skating down the hills. They have
Tilden Park.
They have the Grizzly Peak. Let me see if I can find.
No, that's in San Francisco.
No, I know you've seen this. Let me see.
Valencia.
Grizzly Peak skateboarding.
But Oakland is chill. Oakland, it
is chill.
I don't want to say anything bad about Berkeley.
Berkeley's insane.
But I have my house and I come here and I create my videos and then I go to my skate park and I make my videos. I'm kind of isolated into my own world.
Yeah, me too. You just have your loop you stay in.
Yeah. And I don't really, if I go out and everybody's, being
When's the
wacky.
last time you've been to Costco?
When the day before we went on this trip, because I went, I'm going to go to Costco and buy a bunch of food for all.
And when's the time before that? When had you been there?
Years.
Yeah, I haven't been in 20 years and I went a month ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe what I saw.
What?
Which one did you go to? Which Costco did you go to?
Fairfield, I think.
Yeah, you know what you saw. You know what you saw in there. You know what you saw in there. Hey, it's like Disney. It's the exact same people at Disneyland.
Is it? I haven't been to Disneyland either.
Oh man, were you shocked? Were you flabbergasted when you went into Costco?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I don't remember being like, oh my God, what is this? But also, we do make these videos. We go into these stores. I mean, I don't know. The world is just a crazy place. People are wild.
They do drugs.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They eat too many donuts.
Drugs, and there are a lot of donuts and a lot of sugar and a lot of food and so there's a lot of wild stuff going on out there. It's an interesting place.
I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you skating the whole park with me from wife to family to drugs to dogs. And
yeah.
I
appreciate you having me.
Dude,
you're
amazing.
Doing what you're doing.
Yeah. You're amazing. And I know that all my listeners are going to think I'm cool as shit because I had you on. And just wallow in that a little bit.
Nice.
If there's anything I can ever do for you, if you're ever out this way, you have my phone number. Text me anytime.
Yeah, awesome.
Tell your wife thank you. I know she played a huge part in you coming on this show because of the mutual friend we share.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah, I
a
will.
tremendous honor to meet you. You're doing amazing stuff. There's nothing more virtuous with higher integrity than helping, especially in this day and age, than helping people move and setting a good example for kids. It is the highest in my mind.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
I really appreciate that.
All right, brother. And are you going to stay up till you have to go to the airport at 11?
Yeah, absolutely. It's only 9:13. I'm gonna get some dinner, which I haven't gotten yet.
All right.
And then we're gonna do that. So what are we at? You're not at 3 hours and 14 minutes. We did not go for that long.
We went
Because
for
I
two-
came late.
Yeah, you and I went for two. I think we went 40 minutes before you came on. So you and I went 2 hours and 34 minutes.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So this just goes on. Where does this go?
We're just live on YouTube now. And then one of the guys on the back end will export it and put it on Spotify and iTunes in the morning.
Oh, that's cool. That's
It's really
really cool. So well, sorry I missed the first 40 minutes. I feel
No, it's
terrible.
okay. The people who listen to the show are so fucking good to me. Like they just come on and we party.
Oh yeah, great.
So they just sit there and talk shit to me like you're not going to really come on, and I just hated them. It's just fun. You know what I mean?
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
that happened.
Oh, it's just a party. These guys are a party. We'll say hi to a couple of
Okay.
Bruce Wayne says that's a nice skate park.
Thank you, Bruce Wayne.
I made fun of this
Love you,
dude earlier.
Batman.
My so-called fake deadlift short on YouTube, which is not edited, this guy deadlifted 500 pounds today, and I made fun of him
Nice.
for it not being real, but it is real. But now he's telling me it has 1,100 views. I know it's real. I just like missing him. This guy says, nice podcast. This lady, Elisa Carverdale, give it to him, Sevi. Oh, yeah. They're making fun of me like I'm blowing you right now here at the end. You know what I mean? Like, give it to, she got the lips. So this is the posse.
Nice. So you got a good crew.
Oh, great crew. Great crew.
Out here on the internet, it's not always easy to get a great crew.
Oh, these guys are savages. They're so good to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so good to me. All right. I have a feeling our paths will cross again, brother.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep. Cheers. Good night, Aaron.
Cheers. Good night.
I've had to pee for an hour. Guys, thanks for staying with me. Incredible, right? Holy shit. That's a cool dude. That guy's comfortable in his skin. Thank you, Christine. The Sevanistas, Bruce Wayne. Oh, the lip bite. Oh, you're right. Oh, not blow. See, I just go straight to blowing. It was the lip bite. I should have done that. Bye, Aaron. All right. Tomorrow morning, I have Jason Grubb on. I really liked having him on, and he's doing some Masters competition. He wanted to come on and promote it, so I'm going to just tease him tomorrow for 30 minutes. Then I'm going to spin off into a live call-in show. Jason is a really cool guy, and he's inspirational. And he whenever I go to his Instagram, I'm like, man, this cat's real. There's no braggadocio in him. And yes, it's only 12:15 a.m. on the East Coast. Okay, so I'll see you guys, those of you who will be up at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. I feel like we have a show tomorrow night too. I really want to do this show with hold on, I'll call you. I'll call you back in a couple minutes. Okay, let's see. I really want to do. Oh, so I don't have anyone tomorrow night, and we don't have anything scheduled for Friday because I'm freaking out about the UFC show. And then Saturday and Sunday, Zelos games. And then Scott Schweitzer. Oh, I'm really excited about that on Monday. Sean Ramirez on Tuesday. I think it's his first interview since leaving the CrossFit Games. I think the guy on Wednesday I have was integral in pulling the troops out of Afghanistan. I think that's who that is. Oh shit, I haven't scheduled on 2 days. Uh-oh. All right. So we got to figure out what's going on tomorrow night. I really want to do something with Mike Halpin, John Young, Brian Friend, and Tyler Watkins talking about what the hell's going on with the games. I know, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Oh, darn. I'll come on. That's very nice of you. Oh, Taylor and JR. Is that tomorrow night? Oh, shit. I don't see that on the schedule. Is that on the schedule? Is that on YouTube? How come I don't see that? You're right. Who said that? With Taylor and JR. Oh, that is a great question. I need to text those guys right now. Taylor. We're supposed to do a programming show. Okay, I'm not going to drag you guys through this. I'll send the text now. Thank you, Bruce. You're hired, or whoever told me that. Yes, John Young. Yes, John Young. I'm actually missing John Young. Yes, John Young. Have Barbell Spin on too. We are going to have Mr. Spin on during the Zelos games. We got a pretty cool schedule built. I'm pretty excited. I'm feeling like even a little cocky about it. I'm like, yeah, look at our team. We roll deep. We roll deep. All right, guys. Oh, I want to say this. The kid we had on, Tyson Bajan, earlier in the year, maybe it was last year. He's Travis Bajan's son. He won the Harlan Trophy last year. That's the Division II Heisman. He is 5 or 6 touchdown passes away of breaking the all-time college football touchdown record. Division I, Division II, anything. This kid is going to get drafted first round into the NFL. He has a couple games left in the season. He's going to become the all-time most passes thrown into the end zone quarterback in the history of college football. I don't give a fuck about football, and I think that's fucking cool. I was listening to a coach being interviewed today, college football coach. He says he's been coaching college football for 27 years. He's never seen a better quarterback. Yeah, he's a senior this year. Tyson Bajan. I'll get him back on. What's Shepherdstown? Yeah. Cool kid, right? Like just a class act at the highest level. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. I'm going to get him back on too. Great kid. Get it back on before he gets so fucking big he can't come on the show. Okay. Actually, maybe we'll be so big we won't have him on. That should be my mindset, right? All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Lots of exciting things happening. Bye-bye.